tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. Play ball! It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Trips Flooring, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Burke Schultz Herman and Jenkinson Personal Injury Attorneys, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, Hagerstown Ford, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations Robert Fields and Sons, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Floor Pools, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Martinsburg and Winchester Dealerships, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Palace Lounge, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mirius Group Ameriprise Financial Services LLC, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome to the Musselman Baseball Complex here in Inwood, West Virginia. Get you ready for another game of EPAC baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 and the WRNR TV YouTube channel. Dylan Bishop and Trip Tobin with you on the call. Nick Verzolini back at the studio. Kyler High and Alec Epperson are on-site producers and cameramen. Tonight we have the Martinsburg Bulldogs coming to face the Musselman Applemen. An EPAC matchup between two teams at or below 500 so far early in the season. And Musselman at 3-5, 0-3 so far in their first three EPAC games. Trip and Martinsburg last night able to get a win against Washington. We saw them a little bit getting a couple innings against Hampshire on Monday, lose in a 15 strikeout performance by Mason McGill against Hedgesville. So two of these teams here that have been a little rocky to start the season, but they have some potential that maybe we can see them reach here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, with Grant Henderson on the mound tonight for Martinsburg, I mean, they always have a shot when he's on the mound. He threw the ball really well against Hedgesville. We've seen what he could do, and just didn't quite get the run support there early because Mason McGill was just threw lights out as well. But they threw, Grant Mason threw, 4 innings. I mean, pitch for pitch there, and and eventually Martinsburg had to give away, save his arm there a bit. But, I mean, look for him to do big things tonight. McClintock on the mound for Musselman. They're looking for their senior leader to step up there and see this season, 8 games in for them already, so they're looking for something to turn around, a bright spot. Martinsburg got a big win last night against Washington. It was an emotional win, and see if they can ride that emotion. Musselman's looking to do the same thing here. Martinsburg probably came in last night. Most people thought maybe was the underdog, even with Jameer Brown on the mound. I think a lot of people thought that, man for man, that Washington would outlast them, and Martinsburg, hung in there and took advantage of a few mistakes. And it was just a great game there. Connor Smith throwing and against Jameer Brown, and those two were just going at it pitch for pitch. And eventually, a few mistakes there in the end. That was the difference in the game. As far as Musselman goes, their coach will tell you, Coach Hartman will say they're just kind of not able to put together a complete game. They have good innings defensively, they have good innings pitching, and then they'll have a bad inning or two, and that'll be their undoing. So, they're looking to put together a complete game. But when they do, they're going to be competitive in this EPAC as well.
All right, with that, we'll take a 2-minute break. Come back with our coaches' interviews as EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
Do you have someone in a nursing home, or are you worried about somebody you love going into a nursing home? The law firm of Daniel Staggers can protect your assets. Call the law firm of Daniel Staggers today at 304-267-3915. The Daniel Staggers Law Firm does elder care law, estate planning, and special needs trusts for disabled children and family members. Visit the Daniel Staggers Law Firm for your initial free consultation at 133 East John Street in Martinsburg. The Daniel Staggers Law Firm, when you need asset protection for you or for a family member.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Welcome back to the Hagerstown Ford pregame show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10, brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. We'll get you our coaches' interviews with Coach Hartman and Coach Byler. We got pregame here. Interviews are brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
We're here with Coach Byler, the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Coach, you guys weren't able to fit in the entire game against Hampshire on Monday, but you go to Washington yesterday. You get the win against them. What did you take away from those last two games, just the beginning of that against Hampshire and against the Patriots last night?
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk a little bit about the Washington game. I was really proud of the kids and their effort. I think that's a big win for us. I think at the end of the day, when you kind of sit down and look at it, and kind of one of the charts we keep is the free base chart, and we won the free bases 12-7. And Jameer Brown, pitched his butt off, and I thought we played really good defense behind him, and we finally got a break or two there in the seventh inning that I haven't felt like all year we've gotten too many breaks, but you got to create your own breaks, and we put the ball in play and created those breaks, and was just really happy with that effort and the way they competed and played the game the right way last night.
Heard you talk a good bit already this season about the free base game. What do you think are some of the keys for you guys moving forward when it comes to improving in that sort of category?
Well, I think it's multiple factors. Offensively, to try and win it there is you have to put a little pressure on them. And, if you strike out, 15 times a game like we did against Hedgesville, you're not really creating a lot of pressure to win that free base game. And defensively, I think we lose it sometimes just because of our youth and lack of game experience. So I think the more games we play and the more opportunities these young kids have to get the reps and get the game experience, you hope that those errors and stuff like that minimize and you start winning it a little bit.
We saw on Friday with Hedgesville, you guys, like you kind of mentioned, struck out 15 times against them, and it seemed like his fastball was really able to get by you guys a good bit. Do you think that's part of the experience game there, where they got to catch up to the maybe the faster speeds there? It seemed like he was in the high 80s, 87, 88. Do you think that's part of it, or is it just a combination of any sort of other things?
Yeah, I think anytime at the high school level you get into the mid-80s, you know, kids are going to struggle. I think you saw that a little bit with when we faced Cumley from Spring Mills, and Mason McGill was really good for Hedgesville. So we've, you know, Connor Smith was really good for Musselman last night. So you look at some of the arms that we faced, and, you know, I don't know if that's a product of getting everybody's best because of the target from last year or whatnot. But, yeah, we'll never use that as an excuse. You know, we got to get our foot down and swing and be ready to go. And I think the better pitch, you know, I'd rather see good pitching. I think that makes, you know, hitters better, and we just got to keep working at it.
They've got Wyatt McClintock on the mound tonight. You guys have Grant Henderson. And when it comes to McClintock, what have you guys seen from him in the past when it comes to your strategy at the plate for him?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to get ourselves in hitters count. Last night we did a better job of getting ourselves in hitters counts, and, you know, we were honestly kind of coming in here expecting to see Woolham, and McClintock's a little bit of a surprise for us. I guess Woolham's dealing a little bit of injury, but it doesn't matter who's on the mound for them. If we have to do what we do and limit strikeouts, and Grant's going to have to pitch really well, and we're going to have to play defense behind him and all those things. And I think if we can do all those things, there's a great chance for us to come out here with a win tonight.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, here with Coach Hartman, the Musselman Applemen. Coach, I'll just ask you about your most recent game. Was it last night at Petersburg? They get the win 6-2 there. What do you feel like your team can improve from that one coming into tonight against the Bulldogs?
We just got to have clean innings. We gave up, I think they scored 5 runs in maybe the 4th inning last night. And we have an infield pop-up hit the ground. We misplay bunts, and then things snowball for us. We could clean that up and limit the mistakes and don't let them snowball. I think we'd have a pretty good opportunity to win games.
So far, the EPAC matchups haven't gone your way so far. Do you think you chalk that up mostly to the sort of mistakes like against Petersburg, or is it a combination of things?
I mean, it is definitely a combination of things. We see some pretty good pitching, too. I mean, we're going to see another good one tonight. So I think everybody that's throwing their number one against us, and it's only going to make us better seeing better pitching like that. But obviously, you want to end up on a good side of a baseball game, and we haven't had the success that we wanted. And I think with the talent's here, but we just got to put things together and hopefully come out on top one of these days.
Coach Byler actually said something similar about how they faced a lot of the team's best pitching. You're putting out Wyatt McClintock on the mound tonight. What have you seen from him so far this season, just in general from him, what we can expect seeing him on the rubber?
He does a good job keeping hitters all balanced. He'll work his curveball. He's got command of that. He does a pretty good job with that. If we can have that, if his curveball is working, he usually does a pretty good job out there.
I know Martinsburg has, so far this year, had strikeout issues. I think we had them around 50 in their first 5 games. If you face a team that you know strikes out a good bit or has struck out a good bit, what do you kind of say to your pitcher going into a matchup against a team like that, maybe?
I mean, you definitely want to get ahead in the count. Anytime the count works in your favor, your pitchers have opportunities to throw their curveball and work the corners, plate, things like that. So if you can get ahead in the count, especially with a team that doesn't put the ball in play much, you have a good opportunity to win ball games.
All right, just one last thing. If you say, what would be that last second message to your team? If you do this thing right tonight, you guys should be able to come out with the victory.
7 innings. You got to play 7 innings. Play 7 innings of clean baseball, and I promise that good things will happen for us. So just a full 7-inning ball game, please. Just one time for us.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time, and good luck tonight.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thanks to both coaches for their pregame interviews. And we are getting ready for the top of the first. Here we'll get you the starting lineup for Martinsburg as they head to the plate against the starting battery of Musselman, Wyatt McClintock, and Jacob Parashuk. Starting battery brought to you by Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Starting lineup for Martinsburg, they'll lead off with Christian Alter at second base, Grant Henderson pitching, bats second, then Jameer Brown at shortstop, batting third. In the cleanup spot, it's Bradley Loper at first base, Malachi Green in right field, bats fifth, Silas Sarnecki bats sixth and plays third base. DH Braden Armo will hit seventh. In left field, batting eighth is Caleb Deeds. And in center field, rounding things out, number 11, R.J. Brown. Starting lineups brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. And we'll get into our first pitch here as Christian Alter steps in against Wyatt McClintock. Alter in the right-handed batter's box. Wind up from McClintock is a fastball high for ball one.
Martinsburg did a good job last night of just extending at bats, as much as possible.
Alter will foul off the 1-0.
Like a lot, totally different than when McGill was throwing, 3 and 4 pitch, at bats and getting strikeouts. Martinsburg forced Washington pitchers into some deeper counts, and both those teams last night were patient and forced the pitchers to throw.
1-1 curveball goes over the top of the catcher and the umpire for ball two. First pitch was brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343.
Yeah, back into that winter weather. That ball's going to be kind of slick here tonight. Hard to handle.
McClintock's 2-1 pitch finds the outside corner to even it up at 2-2.
Alter's got his little hoodie on there under his helmet, keeping that neck warm.
2-2 is popped up. Looks like it's in play. Second baseman Isaac Gilbert rolling over towards the first base foul line makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, the wind kept that thing up there, and Gilbert kept floating down there. I think it would have felt fair, actually. It was just right there on the foul line, but he did a nice job calling it off, taking care of that line over there. That's his ball all the way. He's got the angle on it there, and he took control there. Plays shortstop a lot for this team. Tonight Zimmerman takes over there, but a young man who can certainly take control there, and he did just that on that fly ball.
McClintock winds, and pitch is high again for another ball one.
Henderson with a chance to help himself here tonight at the plate, pitching and batting for himself.
Second pitch will bounce in front of the catcher for ball two. Our top of the first brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. McClintock's 2-0 will come in high. 3-0 count to start out for Henderson.
Yeah, just trying to find his release there on the mound, just trying to find his groove at the moment. And McClintock's missing up a good bit.
And it'll be a 4-pitch walk as again it comes in high. Martinsburg gets their first base runner of the night.
Probably get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher, I would assume. Looks like one's coming out of the dugout here. It'll be Tomlinson.
Yes, it will. That'll bring up Jameer Brown. Had a good pitching performance on the mound last night for Martinsburg against Washington as they picked up the 4-2 victory.
He was able to go the distance, keep his pitch count down. He threw strikes through the contact. His defense played well, and that was the key to the victory there last night, was to be able to stay in that game late, stay out of Martinsburg's bullpen.
McClintock from the stretch. First pitch, wild pitch, way outside. Pershuk will have to go and get it as moving to second base is Henderson.
Yeah, that ball got away from him again there as he's on his fifth ball here. He's got to rub that ball down and get a grip there and find that strike zone.
McClintock looks back at second base. Now he'll come to the plate. And that will find the strike zone after 5 straight balls. Works this back to a 1-1 count.
Shamir, a chance for an RBI here with 1 out.
McClintock turns towards second base. He won't make the throw.
Chases Tomlinson back. Middle infielders are seesawing there, trying to keep Tomlinson close.
1-1. Hit on the ground towards third base, and it's going to get past the third baseman and off the glove of the shortstop Zimmerman. And a bounce into very shallow left field. It's going to at least be able to keep Tomlinson at second base, but reaching first will be Jameer Brown.
Yeah, with Zimmerman holding the runner, and then the third baseman was up just a little bit. Jameer hit the ball, right where it had to be at, and Zimmerman ran it down. I don't think he was ever going to get a shot. It was an infield single. What he did do, he was able to keep Tomlinson from moving up to third by at least getting the glove on it and getting over there. So you got men on first and second instead of men on first and third, which generally, ends up with a second and third.
It'll bring in Bradley Loper. His first pitch is going to be chopped back over the top of the press box.
We had a shot at that one if the net wasn't there.
Right?
It's coming right at us.
I think you were going to snag it. A 1 count to the first baseman, hitting cleanup for the Bulldogs. McClintock throws off the outside, comes out of the glove of Pershuk, but he will be able to wrangle it in, keep the runners where they are. 1-1 count. 1-1, 1 out. Runners on first and second here in the top of the first for the Bulldogs. Here's a pitch from McClintock. It'll be fouled off. Out of play. Half a second. Loper decided to make a run out of the batter's box, but that'll be out into the bleachers. 1-2 count.
Loper found himself in a lot of 2-strike counts this year, fighting the pitch off. He needs a big hit to get his season started, because right now McClintock's looking for a big strikeout to give his team a little lift.
And he will get it. It's dropped. Third strike on the ground. Well, it won't have a throw to first base, actually.
Looks like Loper's going to run down there to first. At first I thought he fouled it off, and I think it ended up getting in the dirt, got into Pirshek's calf there, I think, and I thought he had a shot at first there, but so he is out. Oh, yeah, because first base was occupied. Excuse me.
There you go.
They fooled us all. First base was occupied, no reason to throw down there, so, yeah.
So it is a strikeout from McClintock. Runners move up, though, second and third. And looking at strike one will be Malachi Green, batting in the 5 spot in right field for the Bulldogs tonight.
We had a little bit of a brain fart there with that. First base was occupied, so even though it was dropped third strike, Loper was out. He took off running. Everybody moved up and left first base unoccupied at that point, but it was occupied during the at-bat. So he was out on strikes. Now you got a 2-strike count to Malachi, and McClintock's a pitch away.
And here is that 0-2, and it will just be outside. Can't quite get a good frame job to be able to get that one right on the outside corner. It'll be 1-2.
Malachi with a big bat last night, a couple hits.
Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. This is going to be lined foul out of play over towards the Musselman dugout.
Yeah, he just fouled that one off. That was going to be strike 3, I think. They're on the outer half, but he did a nice job of just fighting it off and sending it there over top of the Musselman dugout.
Another 1-2. McClintock throws. It'll be high and outside. Bounces off the glove of Pershuk, but no harm done.
We've seen a lot of Chase Cosner behind the plate this year. The times that we've watched and seen a couple of games that I watched on Game Changer. Tonight's Pershuk getting a start here behind the plate, so getting his feel, getting in his little groove as well, trying to get settled in with McClintock with that wind blowing.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Malachi Green goes down, strands 2 runners in scoring position for the Bulldogs. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Still scoreless after this 1-minute break. EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Let's talk about what to do after a car or truck accident.
First, call 911. Then call Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
Let us handle the insurance company so you can focus on getting better.
Being injured in a wreck is enough stress. Let your doctor handle your medical issues.
And let the Skinner brothers handle your insurance issues.
If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Bottom of the first is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21. Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-250-3551 or visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. Martinsburg gets a couple runners on base in the top of the first, but they are left stranded at second and third after 2 straight strikeouts from Wyatt McClintock to end the inning. That'll bring up Grant Henderson to the mound for the first time for the Bulldogs tonight, throwing to Braden Fox behind the plate for their starting battery. And we'll see what Musselman can do at the plate. Henderson, we've seen already impressive outings from him so far this year, although we've seen him get touched up a little bit as well.
Yeah, certainly one of the best pitchers in the EPAC here so far this year. His velocity's up. He mixes up pitches when he's dominant. He doesn't waste a lot of pitches. He conserves. He's able to go late in games. And, if this Martinsburg team can give him a little bit of run support, look for him to do great things. McClintock, just talk about the bottom of the inning, and it looked like a rocky start. 4-pitch walk, come back with, I think, another ball or two. He was on about 5 or 6 straight pitches where he was missing, and not just missing, but a couple of them missing pretty bad. So give him, hats off to him, finally getting his feel on the mound. Like I say, it's a little cold. Hands are cold. The ball, feels like it's heavier and slicker. The wind feels like it's pushing against you, like you're thrown against the wind. So, he settled in there and got 2 big outs there in the end to keep Martinsburg off the board, and that was huge because that inning had the looks of being, a big first inning.
That'll bring Musselman center fielder Ryder Gantz up to start, leadoff hitter for the Applemen. First one up to face off against Grant Henderson. Henderson will line and fire. First pitch outside for ball 1.
Martinsburg in the gray pants with the black jerseys, dogs across the front in gray. Looks like Coach Hartman is going to come down, and not sure exactly what he's going to talk about, but maybe he's asking about something, but he got his clarification. He's going back 1 pitch in, and so Martinsburg wearing the black hat with that black jersey with the orange M there on it.
Here's the 1-0. Henderson, it's going to be Baltimore chop right out in front of the catcher. Fox is not going to make the play. Throw to first in time as Gantz scurries down to first base in time.
Yeah.
Beat it out.
Swinging bunt directly in between Grant and Fox. I couldn't place it no better. And Gantz with that leadoff speed was able to reach with an infield base hit. So soft contact, a single there. Not much Henderson or Martinsburg can do about that. You got the pitch you wanted, got the contact that he wanted from the batter, but just fell in the right place. Gantz did a great job of running it out and giving a hard 90.
Throw over to first by Henderson. Not in time to get Gantz picked off at first. Musselman tonight in the all-green jerseys and pants with the red and white stripe down the side and across the front. First pitch squaring around and then pulling it back for ball 1 is Gilbert.
Do have the pretty red baseball cap on down there to cap off the jersey.
Yeah.
To cap off the uniform, all green and stripes and a red hat with a white M on there on it. So pretty colorful night for them as they were in kind of an old school jersey and a pinstripe style. I mean, not a pinstripe, but a striped pant, down the side there. So good looking
stripe
uniforms.
on the sleeve as well as Henderson tried to make another pickoff attempt to Gantz. He'll look into the plate now. He will come with it. Again, squaring around the bunt and then pulling it back as the ball is outside. 2-0 count now to the second baseman, Isaac Gilbert.
A big out here. I mean, big at bat, and now it's 2-0. Do you take it off, or you just stay with the bunt here, or give Isaac, he's looking at a 2-0 dead red fastball. Maybe he's going to swing away, but see what happens here.
Henderson taking a long time to come to the plate, and Gilbert will call time.
Grant was standing out there as a little bit of his baseball IQ. He's going to try to see if Gilbert would show, and so he could get his third baseman up there quicker.
And Gilbert will square around. Nicely done to the first base side. Henderson bobbles it a little bit as he tried to grab it off the ground with his glove, and it was enough for Gilbert.
That's a really tough play there. It was another in-betweener there. Grant had to come off the mound hard He kind of bobbled it off his glove, and Gilbert was busting down the line, and he was able just to flip it there in time. So great job for him to
barely
keep his composure there and not just kick it around after the first initial bobble. But great bunt by Gilbert. He shoved it in almost into base hit land there as it went by the pitcher, and he had to retreat and had to make a decision between Loper and Henderson who was going to take it. Henderson took it. Makes a flip over and gets it close out there. But the sacrifice complete. Man on second with one out.
That'll bring up Wyatt McClintock, the other side of the pitcher versus pitcher matchup.
Yeah, get McClintock out here hitting for himself tonight as well, as we're Musselman's DHing for the shortstop, Martinsburg DHing for the catcher. So both pitchers are able to pitch and hit tonight, two-way.
Henderson, first pitch, fouled over to the third base side.
A couple of lefties here in this lineup here. McClintock throws right, bats left. Young man's heading off to West Liberty this fall. Continue his career.
Henderson gives a look back at Gantz. And to the plate. Swing and miss from McClintock.
Good hard fastball down and in. McClintock was a little bit late on that first fastball. He came in on him hard, and he wasn't able to get around on that. Seen two of them now. See if McClintock makes the adjustment and where Henderson goes from here.
McClintock faces the 0-2. Henderson will throw back to second base at Gantz. Comes off the glove of Jameer Brown.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wouldn't have been in time anyway.
Yeah, a little bit of a B move. It was an inside move and turned and threw. Just kind of lobbed it down there. Keep Gantz honest. As Jameer Brown, the lefty up, he's kicking over. He's staying over a little bit in the hole.
Pitch to the plate, grounded to Christian Alter at second base. Thrown easily in time on to first, but it will advance the runner over to third.
Both teams got a runner at third base here in the first inning. See if Musselman can do what Martinsburg wasn't able to do and bring him in. As we see Pavanelli, I believe, come to the plate.
Yep, Will Pavanelli. Runner on third with 2 outs. So far, both sides have gotten a runner 90 feet from home. Check swing. Goes through the zone. This is high, but it will be strike one.
Yeah, hard fastball up. Pavanelli couldn't hold his check there. Certainly looked to me like the right call there as he checked the swing, came around. Gans on third now, taking his lead.
0-1 from Henderson. He's going to hit this one over to the right field side into foul territory and out of play.
Henderson's avoided any contact here this inning. That was any barrels. He's stayed around the plate. Did get that swinging bunt single. Musselman's done a good job of sacrificing and moving the runner over, hitting behind him here. See if they can. So they got him on. And they've got him over. Now they got to get him in.
A wind up from Henderson on the 0-2. It's going to come in high, and it's off the glove of Fox. Runner's going to come to the plate, and Fox won't have a play. Musselman will get their first run in. Applemen taking a 1-0 lead.
So there you go. Got him on, got him over, and got him in there. A wild pitch there, or got away. It looked like it just got up, and like I say, kind of fooled there. Got inside on the right-handed Pavanelli. Fox wasn't able to corral it. Got away from him with the velocity of Grant Henderson. Got to the backstop and run scored.
Next pitch will be fouled straight back. And Coach Byler from Martinsburg has talked a lot about the free base game so far this season. And 1 inning in, it's the free base game that has them behind. Another 1-2 from Henderson will come in inside for ball 2.
Yeah, curveball didn't break there for him like he'd like and stayed up a little bit. So, again, tough pitching on nights like tonight. I feel like the pitchers don't have much of an advantage this early in the year when it's windy like this and cold like this. Even though they say, well, it as he swings away at that and fouls it back and stays alive. But, the batters, as they can stay warm up in there, the pitcher has to deal with that ball and stay out there, each and every pitch, and the longer they're out there, the colder it gets. The hand gets cold, but batters have the batting gloves on, things like that. So I think as we get into the 8th, 9th game of the season, the colder nights sort of benefit the batter a little bit.
2-2. Bounces. Runs the count full. Taryn Boyles is due up on deck if Musselman can keep the inning alive.
Boyles was hurt there at the beginning of the year. I think still have some residuals from his shoulder there, hurting, I believe, and going to take a shot at it here. I'm not sure if he played last night in the field. I know he didn't play a lot there early in the season, the first couple games.
First full count pitch is fouled away. Bobanelli stays alive.
Bobanelli doing a good job of seeing pitches. It's very important, and in today's game is to get the opposing pitchers count up, see as many pitches as possible.
And we'll get another full count delivery from Henderson, and we'll get another foul ball. Bobanelli working a nice long at bat here. This will be pitch number 8.
Big at bat for Bobanelli, especially, they just scored the run. You could just give in and, go back to the dugout with a 1-run lead. Bobanelli's not ready to let this inning end yet.
3-2. It's hit into the air into left field. Deep. Going back for it is Deeds, and it's going to be over his head. It's going to get down. Extra bases for Bobanelli. He will come in standing at second base with a 2-out double. As Musselman has now a chance to add on to their 1-0 lead they've gotten here.
Yeah, nice job there by Bobanelli. It was a great at-bat by Bobanelli. He just kept fighting and fighting all pitches. Finally got a pitch he could handle. Got a lot of barrel on it. Had Deeds backtrack in there for it and fell in. Deeds picked it up. By that time, it was, nothing he could do was just get it in for a stand-up double there. Great battle there between Grant Henderson and Will Bobanelli in that stance there. Like I said, great job by Will. The run come in and to keep this inning alive, keep extended as long as possible, and not just going back to the dugout and taking a half-hearted at bat. He gave it all he had there and extended that at bat and seen a lot of pitches and got one he could handle.
Taryn Boyles will look at the first pitch outside for a ball. Henderson trying to get out of this inning with just the 1 run allowed.
Boyles has been a staple in this Musselman offense since he's a freshman. Just a pure hitter there at the plate, dangerous hitter.
1-0. Check swing from Boyles. It'll be inside. He didn't go around. Ball 2, and it looks like we'll see Kurt Zarnecki walk out to the mound to talk to Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson's not having quite the start that he wanted. He's really only given up one base hit as far as hard hit ball. The rest of us they kind of manufactured up to the point there, but definitely got to be careful with Boyles. He can find the base of that wall and even over it as well with that power he has. He barrels a lot of pitches up, and now that he's in a hitter's count, you got to wonder if Martinsburg is going to say, hey, let's see what we can do here. Maybe fish around, make him hit your pitch, or first base is open. We'll take a chance with the next guy in the plate because Martinsburg is very familiar with Taryn. Like I say, Taryn's been a starter for all 4 years and been one of the best hitters in the EPAC. So wouldn't be surprised if Martinsburg here just kind of dances around. If Henderson just tries to paint a corner or have him chase or whatever. If not, just first base open.
At 2-0 count, DH Tanner Sharp on deck for the Applemen. And this is going to bounce again and pass Fox. It's going to allow Bobanelli to move up to third now.
Yeah, I think he was going for the outside corner there again. Just got away. Like I said, maybe just trying to paint a corner, throw a hitter's pitch, not necessarily just throw a get me over 2-0 fastball, and just got down a little bit. And 3-0 here, 2 outs, man on third. Henderson from the wind-up.
That one will find the zone.
Yeah, again, a beautiful place to pitch. Like I said, not just grooving anything here to Boyles, being a little careful here, but attacking the inner half there that time.
3-1 with the runner on third base. And Boyles is going to line that one out of play to run the count full Once again, 3-2, 2 outs as Musselman has that runner on third to try to extend the 1-0 lead they've gotten here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Henderson challenged him there. And
3-2. Got it past him. Strike three. Swinging goes down. Boyles. Henderson gives up the 1 run on the wild pitch, but he's able to strand that runner at third and send us to the second inning. The Applemen up 1-0 on the Bulldogs. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the second inning. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Shenandoah Apple Blossom Festival is celebrating its 98th festival. Are you ready to purchase your pink and green Apple Blossom swag for the festival? The Blossom store is officially opening April 4th at Apple Blossom Mall, entrance on North Wing. Grab the newest apparel and merchandise for all your favorite events, plus flags and swag and more. We look forward to seeing all of the pink and green around town. Store opening is sponsored by Claudio's Pizzeria. Visit thebloom.com for more information.
You have choices when it comes to appliance repair, but before you call a large corporate chain, consider what BW Appliance brings to the table. BW Appliance Repair offers fast in-home appliance repair services to the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, including Jefferson County and Berkeley County. We strive for professionalism, dedication, and honesty. Call us today at 304-279-8858 to schedule immediate service. You can also visit us online at bwappliance.repair.
Top of the second inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. 1-0 Musselman after 1 inning. They're able to get the run in on the wild pitch from Grant Henderson before he strands another runner on third base. Dylan Bishop and Tripp Tobin with you on the call. Kyler High, our on-site producer, and Alec Epperson behind the camera. And Nick Verzolini back at the studio. See if Martinsburg can even things back up after going down in the bottom of the first. We'll start off with Silas Zarnecki, who will take the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Zarnecki certainly has the makings of being as a sophomore, the way he's seen pitches so far this year, he just has a speed and the ability. He can certainly be a leadoff here in the future for Martinsburg.
Next pitch comes in to even the count. Strike 1. Zarnecki, Armolt, and Deeds due up. 6, 7, 8 for the Bulldogs as the 1-1 is outside. Brings the count to 2-1.
You have Alderman behind the plate tonight, and I believe Mr. Heidel's out on the bases, Matt.
Next pitch also can't quite find the zone. McClintock falls behind 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, Zarnecki.
Certainly is a night here with those flags flying around, everybody wearing their hoodies, and a good night to be in the heated press box tonight here.
It sure is, yeah. And the 3-1 is outside. Zarnecki draws a leadoff walk.
Feels good. I can feel the heat on my legs. For everybody out there listening.
I think you got that baseboard right down below here, and I cracked the window right open in front of me just a little bit. Get a nice balance in.
Martinsburg gets a lead-off walk. See if they can do the get him on and get him over and get him in here as that Musselman did in the bottom of the first.
That's the second walk in as many innings so far from McClintock. Armolt will square around the bunt, pulls it back as the ball comes inside and off the plate.
Musselman runs a basic third baseman up, shortstop covering third, second base covering first baseman staying home. Pitcher has the first baseline on this. Henchman at third is pulled way up. Zimmerman is up a few steps there at short. Got the second baseman as Gilbert in a little bit of a double play depth style. Holding is Pavanelli at first.
Squaring around again is Armolt. He'll pull it back, but it was in the zone. Evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, Armolt pulled back on that one. I don't know if it was possibly a fake bunt, just to see if he could, get McClintock to work the count into his favor, or if he actually had the bunt on, just pulled back, didn't like the pitch. Right now, I guess it's 1-1. We'll see what Martinsburg opts to do here.
Armolt squares around again, pulls back. Ball bounces off of the catcher Perishuk, and moving to second base is Zarnecki.
Musselman tonight McClintock and Pureshek still aren't on the same page there a little bit as Pureshek took one, looks like, off their ribs there a little bit. We're going to get a little bit of a timeout. Coach McClintock from Musselman going to come out and check on his catcher. And Musselman's allowed Martinsburg to move up a few times here, as well as Martinsburg's allowed Musselman to move up a few times with the ball to the backstop as pitcher, catcher, battery. Haven't quite linked up here tonight for either side.
Here's the next pitch, 2-1 from McClintock. That does find the zone for strike number 2. Infield behind McClintock on the mound is Hinchman at third, Zimmerman at shortstop, Nicky Zimmerman, who's being DH'd for, Isaac Gilbert at second, Will Papanelli at first. Then the outfield is Boyles, Gantz, and Seth Kisner from left to right. Next pitch, 2-2, is hit deep into center field. Well, actually shallow, as running in for it is Gantz. He's going to make the play.
Yeah, you look at those flags out there, they're pushing that ball back in. So, yeah, anything that gets up in that jet stream is going to come back. You're going to have to get the ball more of a little bit of a rope like Pavanelli did last inning. I'm with you, when it came off the bat, it looked like it had a chance to get out there, to deeper center field, and it just died and got pushed back.
Then McClintock gets the first out. Runner stays at second and brings up Caleb Deeds, the 8-hitter for Martinsburg. And this will bounce past Pureshek again. Once again allowing Zarnecki to take a free base over to third.
Yeah, Pureshek struggling a little bit back there tonight. He's been beat up a couple of times, dinged up. That one just got away from him. The pitch was catchable there. We say the word pass ball a lot, and, there's a fine line between a fastball and a wild pitch. A pass ball and a wild pitch, depending on what call it is, if the catcher's crossed up, what have you. See Deeds foul one back here. But, yeah, the catcher position is a thankless position. You're expected to do a lot back there and do it for 120-some pitches a game, and it's just a tough spot that, they only remember you for your misses, not all the ones you frame like that one there that Pureshek snagged. So, yeah, I have a soft spot for catchers there, and pitchers sometimes miss their spots, and they call it a passed ball, but sometimes they'll cross them up. But, right now, McClintock and Pureshek are just 2 innings in.
And the 1-2 to Deeds is swung on and missed for strike number 3. 3 strikeouts already for McClintock.
Yeah, nice frame there by Pureshek, then the foul ball, and then there he went up high on a fastball and got him there. So McClintock once again is trying to strand a base runners in scoring position for Martinsburg as he did in the first inning. Salazar naked leads off. The walk moved up, and now on the balls that got to the backstop, now he stands at third.
It'll be the bottom of the order here. Number 9, R.J. Brown, wearing jersey number 11, batting 9th in the order. He'll take the first pitch high for a ball.
Yeah, big spot last night. A lot of guys in the bottom of the lineup there getting things done. RJ came to the plate last night. Martinsburg down a run after a pinch hitter from Washington. Marshall Derrick had a big hit there in the bottom of the 6th to put Washington up. RJ came up in the top of the 7th there in a 1-run game and delivered a base hit, and eventually come around and scored the tying run. 1 of 3 they scored that inning.
1-0 from McClintock. Will find the corner on the outside for strike 1.
I don't know what corner, but he found a corner. It was way out corner. McClintock got a little bit of help there. We'll give the umpires, like the catchers, they're expected to be perfect as well.
And no question about this one as R.J. Brown swings through it for strike 2.
So if the catcher catches 120 pitches a game, the umpire has to make 240 basically calls, right? So as long as they don't go Angel Hernandez on us, we'll give him a break.
Right. 1-2. And that one's going to bounce again away from Pureshek, but not all the way to the backstop. So we're able to keep Zarnecki over at third. 2-2 count.
Yeah. He's struggling a little bit there to keep up with McClintock, his pitch calls, his velocity. Like I say, you've seen Cosner back there a lot this year. Pureshek we haven't seen a lot, so young man back there giving it all he's got, of course. And being a backstop for Musselman here.
McClintock 2-2 can't get the call for strike 3, so the count runs full. Martinsburg trying to get that runner home from third to tie this one up at 1 in the top of the second.
Big pitch here, 3-2, 2 outs, man on third.
And we go to the top of the order. If Brown's able to get on base, this full count pitch is fouled away.
Top of the order on deck. Martinsburg looking to break that, to tie this thing up here. I was going to say break a scoreless game, but Musselman's already broke that.
McClintock will stand on the rubber again. Here's the payoff pitch. And he got him. Fastball, the outside part of the plate. Brown swings through it. 4th K for Wyatt McClintock. Again, 2 straight strikeouts to end an inning and keep a runner on third base. Martinsburg goes down quiet again. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Musselman still has that 1-0 lead after this 1-minute break. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Nothing Musselman as we move to the bottom of the second inning, which is brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Musselman will bring up the 6, 7, 8 hitters in their lineup. Give you the full lineup. Ryder Gantz led off in center field. Isaac Gilbert at second base, batted second. Wyatt McClintock in the 3 spot as the pitcher. Will Pavanelli in the cleanup spot at first base. Taryn Boyles in left field, batting 5th. Tanner Sharp at the DH in the 6th spot, up now. 7th spot is Ethan Hinchman, the third baseman. Jacob Parashuk hitting 8th behind the plate, and Seth Kisner batting 9th in right field. And Sharp swings through pitch number 1 for strike number 1.
Yeah, Sharp, the name is a big name around here. Trevor Sharp came through here as a big pitcher, signed over at WVU, ended up transferring over to Shepherd and pitching down there now. So, little brother Tanner here throws. He can play third base. He can play the infield there. He pitches as well. So, another Sharp coming through the organization here.
He falls behind 0-2 to Henderson. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be chopped foul in front of Braden Fox behind the plate for Martinsburg.
1-0 game with Washington and Hedgesville after 1 complete. Washington took advantage of some free bases of their own with a couple walks and hit by pitch in the first inning to bring in the first run. So after 1 complete, Washington's up 1-0 over Hedgesville.
Another 0-2 from Henderson is going to be grounded over to third base. Sarnecki has trouble with it on the ground, comes out of his glove, and can't cleanly get it back in before Sharp gets over to first base. A leadoff error for Martinsburg.
Yeah, he went to his glove side, made a good play. I think he just maybe come up looking to throw there before he kind of secured it there. Just a young infielder there. The expectation for everybody to be perfect, but certainly we know that's not possible. And Zarnecki's been playing really well there, secured that spot. Just didn't get the handle on that one before just didn't secure it there before the throw.
Throw down to first base after a first pitch ball to Hinchman, not in time. They could get Sharp
Good job by young Braden Fox there. Anytime you get a bunt or a fake bunt and the ball's on the outer half, sets you up already. Your body's already turned to go to first. Sharp was leaning. He threw a really nice throw down there and made a close play at first.
Squaring around the bunt is Hinchman. He's going to hit it over foul towards Martinsburg dugout, though.
Yes, Martinsburg also plays the wheel here with Zarnecki at third charging, Jameer Brown at short cover in third. Christian Alter will cover second, and Loper will stay home. Musselman has tried to attack that little void there between first and the pitcher when their bunch here as also Henchman tried to push the ball up at the first base side.
1-1, squaring around again. Pulled back as it's outside. 2-1 count to Henchman, runner on first to lead off the bottom of the second. Henderson nods in at Fox behind the plate. Now here's the pitch, and it's hit again over towards the foul line, just barely staying in foul territory as it's picked up by Loper. So 2 strikes now, 2-2 count. We'll see if now Hinchman swings away.
He had 2 shots at it there, so we'll see if he's... Musselman's all about, you didn't get it down, get tried third time, or swing away here and make us forget about it with a base hit.
He will be swinging away, and he's going to foul this one over and out of play on the right field side. Jacob Perishuk on deck. Seth Kisner in the hole. Sharp takes his lead off first base. Not a big one as Henderson looks over at him. Now from the stretch, here's the pitch. So he grounded off the glove of Henderson, but right to Christian Alter, who will tag Sharp and then throw on too late to first base to get the double play. But they do get the lead runner and the first out.
Yeah, Alter and Jameer were in the double play depth, and it's one of those times where you wish the pitcher didn't touch it. Of course, your reaction is to reach up and grab and then turn to the short for the double play, but as it just kicked off of Henderson's glove, it slowed it up just enough to stop the double play there up the middle. But, yeah, right now, as it stands, you just got a fielder's choice there as Alter takes the ground ball and tags the runner coming across. Throws over, but just a little bit late.
And that'll bring up Perishuk, the catcher. He's going to look at strike one.
Perishuk back there. Been hit a few times back there behind the plate, blocking a few balls. Took one there maybe in the side of the rib cage early. It's a cold night for those forearms to be getting beat on. And looks like a tough young man there, though. He stood in there tough all night so far in the first couple innings.
0-1. Swing and miss by Perishuk. Got him to chase low in the dirt.
Yeah,
you can tell he pretty immediately regretted that swing.
Hit that curveball broke and kept breaking, and he didn't have a shot at it there. He kind of half-hearted swung at it. He was fooled from the release.
Henderson gives a long look over to first at Hinchman. Now gives a nod in to his catcher, and he'll come to the plate. And Perishuk will keep the at-bat going as he fouls it back. Infield behind Henderson on the mound, Zarnecki, Brown, Alter, and Loper. Left field, Caleb Deeds, R.J. Brown in center, Malachi Green in right. The 0-2 is low and inside for ball one.
Braden Fox catching with a Braden arm, hope DHing, and that gives you your lineup there.
Perishuk will step back in. Infield, a double play depth for the Bulldogs. Long look from Henderson and the pitch. And another foul ball. So Musselman has been able to keep some at-bats going, make Henderson work.
Yeah, they've certainly fouled plenty of them off, forcing his pitch count up a bit, and not letting him get away. They're already at 40 pitches after 1 1/3, or 2 1/3. Oh, 1 1/3.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Yep.
I see second inning.
Next one comes in low, evens it at 2-2.
Brain fog here tonight. It's cold weather. Had a little touch of spring, got us
right.
That cold weather now sent us into shock.
Henderson, another long look into the plate and the pitch. And another one outside. And another full count.
Yeah, we had seen Henderson at one point in time down the Spring Mills game. He was 30 for strikes for 35 pitches. 30 of them were strikes. So tonight he's 41 for 28, or 42 and 28. So still a very good strike to ball ratio. Just when you throw a game like the 2 games like Henderson has, even if you're just a tick off, it's not quite what you expected. But he's done a great job out there of fighting and fighting the weather. Fighting a feisty Musselman team that keeps fighting off good pitches.
After an unsuccessful pickoff attempt, here's another 3-2, and then here's another foul ball.
Yeah, when you look at these pitches of Henderson's, like now we're at 43 and 29 for strikes. I'd like to know how many were foul balls. Because Musselman, that's of course part of your strike count, of course. So, not a tremendous amount of called strikes here tonight, as Musselman has fouled a lot of pitches off, and hats off to them as that game moves in the cold weather. Martinsburg will have to go to the bullpen if we keep seeing these 20-25 pitch innings.
Hinchman taking his lead off at first. Another payoff pitch to Jacob Parashuk. And it's going to be fouled off of Parashuk. It was in play for a second, but realize it's off of him. Foul ball.
McClintock's 2 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks. Is his line after 2, and he is at 44 pitches. So both pitchers throwing 20+ pitch innings here tonight as both teams are fighting.
And there's ball 4. Finally, Parashuk draws the walk. They're a long at bat.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of pitches. We're seeing a lot of that tonight from Musselman, as they are being really tough at the plate, extending at bats, and fighting off very good pitches by Grant Henderson. Just getting a bat on it enough to create a lot of foul balls. But Martinsburg's got a great defense out there. Grant knows he's a pitch away. He's part of that middle infield, so he understands, that if he can get a ground ball here at his infield, he's got to go try to get out of this thing with 1 pitch and keeping this at a 1-0 game.
We get a courtesy runner for the catcher. Parashuk on first. It'll be Austin Zacharias. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for the Applemen, Seth Kisner. He will look at strike 1 to start the at-bat. So McClintock was able to get out of the second inning by sending down the number 9 hitter. Only 1 out here. Henderson would need a double play to be able to completely get out of the inning with that. Here's the 0-1. It's a swinging strike 2.
I threw that one by him. There's the attacking this number 9 hitter in Seth Kisner. Kisner had a home run the other night, so young man does have pop in that bat, and so got to be careful as well as is with just about all these EPAC hitters.
0-2, hit on the ground, but foul just past the third base bag.
Another Musselman foul ball.
They're really working. They're really making contact, even if it's not all getting out into play.
I need Nick to get on the game changer there and count all the foul balls.
Right, yeah.
He's back there sleeping. Nick, wake up. How many foul balls has Musselman hit here in the first inning and 2/3? We'll just take a count after 2. I'll be happy with that.
There you go. Yeah. Can get us a total. Henderson steps off the rubber after a long look over at second base.
both these teams have done a good job of fouling pitches off, staying in at bats against these two pitchers, and these aren't two easy pitchers to hit against. They are both come out and they compete, passionate about the game, throw the ball hard. I got good secondary pitches, can throw them for strikes. So,
and here's one lined. One hopper over to shortstop. Brown is going to step on second, throw to first, gets him for the double play.
And so there's that one pitcher we're talking about, one hopper to the shortstop, and Jameer Brown was looking for Alter, but it was hit too hard, so he had to take it himself, and he already had the ball out of the glove ready to throw. Second, his toe touched that bag, and that was the difference there. It's a really close bang-bang play at first.
So there you go. Henderson does get out of the inning, sending down the 9-hitter. And Musselman scoreless in the second. They do still hold the 1-0 lead. We'll go to the third after the 60-second break. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Mark Q's Plumbing and HVAC is here to solve your plumbing and heating problems while meeting your renovation needs. Now serving Berkeley, Jefferson, Hampshire, and Mineral counties. We're a family-owned and operated company that's fully licensed and insured. We can do kitchen and bathroom upgrades and remodels, plumbing, HVAC and light excavation, well pumps, water heaters, and drain clearing. Call 304-620-8013. Mark's Q's Plumbing and HVAC. We look forward to working with you.
Moving to inning number 3. Top of the third is brought to you by WV Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. Musselman still with the 1-0 lead over Martinsburg, as it'll be the second time through the order for Wyatt McClintock as Christian Alter steps up, try to get Martinsburg on the board.
Yeah, second time through here. McClintock showed signs where he could be really, really effective and, pound the strike zone. And he's also had a few times this first 2 innings where he, he kind of lost the strike zone. Both these pitchers, certainly battling through some weather here tonight, and that's the element.
First pitch swinging. This is going to be lined right at Ganson center. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, it's a quick out there. Comes Henderson to the plate.
That'll be 0 for 2 for Alter, making contact on both of them, at the very least. Popped out to second base his first time up. That brings up Grant Henderson, who drew a walk in his first at-bat in the top of the first. Wind up and pitch from McClintock. First pitch strike.
Yes, McClintock, for the most part here, settled down there a little bit, gotten through the first 2 innings. Difficulty at times, and one thing he did do is he goes with his third straight strike of the inning, 0-2 to Henderson there, but McClintock has stranded those runners both times he got in trouble in the first and second inning, so starting off a little different this inning with he got a little wild pitch there, got away as he tried to get Henderson to chase on the 0-2.
That curveball came in for strike 2, and then another one there into the dirt for ball 1.
It's called a waste pitch. Now what do you do if you go low and away? Now you're going to, with the curveball, this gets fouled off. So Martinsburg showing it can stay in at bats with 2 strikes.
And 4 strikeouts already for McClintock through 2 innings. He sent down the last 2 batters of inning number 1 and 2.
All swinging. Yeah, you said all swinging, so these batters are coming to swing the bat tonight against these 2 guys.
And there's another swing. This is a ground ball to shortstop. Zimmerman will throw, and it will be in time for the second out.
Yeah, Zimmerman started the other night there at short. He's a freshman, getting his second start here at second base. Made a real nice play there. Soft hands there, come across the diamond. Ball was hit the middle, come across the diamond, threw across. Good hard throw, right on target. So good start there of the season there as young Zimmerman gets his another start here. Gets a 6'3", out there for McClintock to make it 2 outs here quickly in the top of the third.
Jameer Brown will also be swinging at the first pitch. It'll be fouled right back to the backstop. McClintock making some progress on those first 2 innings, throwing a good bit of pitches. He said he was over 40 in the first 2. And next pitch comes in low to even the count up.
Yeah, it won't surprise me to see both these pitchers settle down here through the middle innings and start pounding the strike zone at all.
McClintock only giving up 1 hit and 2 walks so far. As there's another 1-hit foul for strike 2.
Foul balls. That's the theme of the night. Fouled back, fouled over, fouled down the line. Getting into the season here, these batters are getting a little more confident, swinging the bat, attacking more.
1-2. They will go down to first base to check if he swung. He did not.
Musselman was going to the dugout there. The infield was headed towards the dugout, and
I was waiting for the call myself.
Yeah, they're getting a check swing there. Jameer followed that ball down the ground, gave it a little bit of a check, but first base umpire says no, he didn't.
So it's 2-2 now. 2, Jameer Brown, and this will go by the catcher for ball 3. 3-2. The 1 hit that McClintock has given up so far was to Jameer Brown in that first inning. And it was sort of an infield single. Got past Hinchman and then off the glove of Zimmerman into the 5.5 hole. And here's ball 4 on the outside.
Yep. Got the ball up there, and Prochek, I think, was trying to hold it there a little bit and keep it pretty, but got away from him there a little bit. He tried to frame it and just kicked off the glove, got back. But, yeah, great at bat there once again by another one of these EPAC hitters tonight, this time Jameer Brown from Martinsburg, who just extended the at-bat, fouled a few off, and then, worked the walk there. So good job by him for extending the inning. You get the first 2 outs like that, you just want to keep extending the inning and handing it over to the guy next to you as Loper takes the first pitch inside. So 2 outs, you just say, hey, get up there, get handed down, let's get another guy up, just pass the baton and just keep this inning going. And right now Martinsburg has an opportunity to do that with Loper to the plate, the number 4 hitter, and Jameer Brown on first. Got to wonder if Martinsburg's going to take a shot and see what kind of a pop time Prochek has here at some point.
1-0 is low. Brown started to make his way towards second base, tried to maybe force that throw down to first.
He read that dirt ball. He seen it in the dirt, and he got a jump, and Prochek did a nice job picking it. Probably would have thrown down had it not been for a left-handed batter there with Loper, who he had to throw through. But right-handed batter, you might have seen him throw there, but at that point,
he might have gotten him too.
Yeah, he had him leaning.
2-0 pitch is low and bounces. Prochek loses it for a second. It's enough for Brown to make his way down to second.
Kind of been the theme of the night for the teams there. They get a runner on. They get a good at bat from one of the guys up there battling. It gets on eventually. The next guy he's battling and get a ball in the dirt or something that kicks away, or even pass ball or wild pitch, and they move up. And so that's kind of been the theme here. How to get these runners into scoring position is kind of wait for it to squib away at this point, but. Great start to the inning from McClintock. Now he finds himself with a man in scoring position with 2 outs and a 3-0 count.
Loper struck out swinging first time around. One of those 4 strikeouts from McClintock so far. Quick look back to second, and now comes to the plate, and there will be ball 4 for walk number 4, and on the throw back to the pitcher, Jameer Brown steals third base.
Yeah, he decides if they're going to get a little lazy and just toss it back, he's going to take off. So, they, I think that ball must have got in. You see McClintock handing the ball to the umpire. It was something wrong today. He throws it out of the game. Must have got hit the backstop there or something, took a chunk out of it. McClintock's getting the new ball. It's just going to be a mound visit at this point. Settle them down 2 outs. Men on first and second. Then they got the kind of the Jameer Brown reading the throw back from the catcher, and he takes off, and it's sort of a little league style steal where you just kind of take advantage of the catcher or the infield not paying attention. He moves up. Now you have first and third. Martinsburg Do they decide probably not steal Loper here and just try to get the run across, by hitting it across? Was Zarnecki coming to the plate? Excuse me. Who's coming to the plate?
Malachi Green.
Excuse me, Malachi Green. I've seen Zarnecki over there. He was on deck. Malachi was down there in the meeting with Coach Ballard. Malachi, a big hit last night. Hit the ball well, got a couple hits. He's been on fire as of late, so big spot here for him in the game. Big spot for McClintock. I know it's early, but McClintock's going to try to wiggle off this hook there one more time as he has a man on third base with 2 outs for the 3rd inning in a row.
First pitch to Green, just outside for a ball. This is the exact situation Malachi Green was in the first inning, except there was a runner on second instead of first. He had 2 runners in scoring position. McClintock was able to get out of it with a strikeout. And the 1-0 catches the zone for strike 1.
Nice job by Purchek there, framing that ball as it was, in the outer half. He just kind of curled that glove in and made it look pretty.
1-1 from McClintock. Runner goes. Throw bound by Parashuk is actually to the pitcher. Try to draw Brown off a third, so
no chance there for the speedy Loper. Loper gets his catcher's defensive indifference and takes second base. So now you got 2 men in scoring position.
So here you go. Now it is the exact same situation that Green saw his first time up. Outside, pops off the glove of Parashuk, but right to him still. 2-2.
McClintock lost the handle now. I think he tried to overthrow a little bit there on that pump up that strike. Pump it up, try to get strike 3.
And McClintock will look in. 2-2 pitch. High. Runs the count full.
Full count here. First base open. Got to be careful with Green. Has been hot. Musselman could see this lead go away and even be in a deficit because should he find one of the gaps. So Silas Zarnecki on deck. So Green has a little bit of coverage here.
Musselman trying to keep this 1-0 lead. Here's the payoff pitch. It's going to be hit towards left field and just out of play.
Foul. And foul is the name of the game.
Yep. McClintock, 4 strikeouts and 4 walks to go with just the 1 hit allowed. No runs have come across yet, but there's 2 out there for the Bulldogs to try to take. Here's the 3-2. And pitching cautiously, they will throw another ball 4.
Yeah, Martin. Yeah, great at bat there by Malachi. We've seen there another Parashuk having a little bit of trouble getting the ball back to McClintock as he's actually thrown it past him or by him a few times this game. That one right there almost had Jameer scoring as they got by, and the shortstop Zimmerman quickly came up on it. Jameer just wasn't quite ready for the overthrow there, kind of retreating, so he opted to stay since he didn't get a great jump there on that. But strike 1 coming in to Zarnecki with the bases loaded now after 2 quick outs. McClintock found himself in a long inning again here with man on third and 2 outs. See if he can get out of it.
0-1 comes in high for ball 1. So Malachi Green gets on first. It's not deja vu all over again for him striking out with the runners out there in scoring position. Zarnecki's 1-1 is going to hit on the ground to third base, pops off the body of Hinchman, but he gathers it back in, steps on third, and what could have been a dangerous situation for Musselman, they come out of it unscathed.
Once again.
3 runners left on base for the Bulldogs. Leave ducks out on the pond. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Musselman still leads 1-0 over Martinsburg. Take a 60-second break and be back with more EPAC baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Moving to the bottom of the third inning, which is brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. Call 304-263-0809 for a quote today or visit fmiwv.com. Martinsburg leaves the bases loaded in the top of the inning. Still looking for that first run up on the board as the Applemen hold on just ever so slightly to that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Martinsburg just leaving too many base runners on. Can't get that 2-out hit with a man on third, or even actually men on second, third. And, they get a couple 2-out hits. They got a commanding lead in this game with one of their best pitchers on the mound, Musselman, at the moment, holding on as Watt McClintock continues to find success after runners are on base. He seems to get a couple guys on, but he leaves them stranded there. So. Good job with him showing some grit. Martinsburg's just been a base hit away from scoring a few runs here, as the theme here tonight has been we're going to foul some pitches off here tonight as another foul ball finds its way over in the right field.
And quick 0-2 start for Henderson against Gantz, and here's another foul ball. Musselman back to the top of the order after Kisner grounded into the 6-3 double play to end the second. So just like Martinsburg, the Applemen start the third inning, second time through the top of the order. The 0-2 will bounce in for ball one.
It says a lot about these two guys there on the mound, though. They'll both probably tell you they didn't have their best stuff tonight, but sometimes you got to pitch without your best stuff. You got to pitch to the elements, and both these guys are, Musselman has a hit, Martinsburg has a hit, and that's really all they've allowed. A couple of free bases here and there, but other than that, these two guys have done everything they can.
Grounder over to second base. Christian Alter throws, and we'll get the first out.
They've done everything. These two guys have done everything they can, with what they got here tonight, and they're both just battling. And that's what makes a pitcher a good pitcher. Anybody can pitch when you're cruising, you got your good stuff, and everything feels good. But when you're uncomfortable, the weather's not good, the batters are battling, like these two teams are. That shows grit, and that's the kind of pitchers you want on the mound. As Grant Henderson's coming out there, and he's attacking hitter still. And, giving it all he's got. And he's doing a great job of battling and getting after it here as he's got a quick out and a quick strike here on the second baseman here, Isaac Gilbert, who I believe sacrificed last time.
Big cut from Gilbert as he has his first true at-bat to swing away, as you mentioned. And he's going to swing and hit another one foul.
Yeah, Grant looking a little more fluid here now. Yeah, he wants Gilbert in the box here. He's ready to throw. So he's up on the mound. He's ready, standing behind that glove and that kind of side step.
And 0-2 dropped third strike as it's in the dirt. Gilbert chases, throw down the first in time. So there is strikeout number 2 on the day for Henderson.
Yeah, you see Grant. He's feeling it now a little bit, and he's coming out. He's coming out with a vengeance here, and he's going to face a big hitter here, McClintock. But just like McClintock in the top of the fourth, 2 quick outs. See if he can dispose of Musselman a little quicker than Martinsburg was able. Dispose of him a little quicker than Musselman was able to dispose of Martinsburg in the bottom as they loaded the bases after 2 outs.
Right after McClintock, who's at the plate now, got those 2 outs to start out. He walked 3 in a row to load the bases, but then got out of it. Here's the ball to even it up at 1-1.
Henderson looking a lot like himself here, like we've seen, when he's on. Like I said, did a great job battling through them first 3 innings and battling some really tough at bats. And here he looks to be on point here midway through the game.
Henderson comes, and there's a breaking ball that bounces in front of Fox. 2-1. Can't get McClintock to chase. was a ground out to second base, first time around for McClintock. And here's a big cut for strike 2.
Yeah, a lot of the guys in the EPAC will talk to you. The kids will tell you, they won't say it, out loud, but they'll tell you, that they think that Grant's one of the tough pitchers to hit. Along with McGill, Pinch throws the ball well at Hedgesville as well. Connor Smith and Jackson Earl down there. But here's a big strikeout as Grant Henderson seemed to have went in the dugout and found a little grit there and come out and 1-2-3 that inning.
Yeah, there you go. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts in a row to end it. And that's just Henderson's second and third strikeouts. So I think you're right, Tripp. He started to settle in, and we will stay at 1-0 Applemen as Martinsburg goes to the top of the fourth. See if they can once again, this time, get that first run across. We'll take the 60 seconds and be back with EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
Top of the fourth on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Dylan Bishop and Tripp Tobin with you on the call. Kyler High, our on-site producer. Alec Epperson, our cameraman. Nick Verzolini back at the studio. And we go to the top of the fourth. Martinsburg again trying to get that first run up on the board as they only trail by that one. First pitch of the inning taken by Braden Armolt for ball 1.
Yeah, like I said, the time the ball got away here and there, it's good away from the catchers. A couple guys got on the free bases, but these two pitchers have really battled, and Grant Henderson seems really settled in that inning. After a couple guys got on base in first 2 to 3 innings, he was pretty dominant there in the fourth, and so he's starting to really feel it here.
He was able to even it up with a strike, and now here's a fouled off pitch by Armolt. So 1-2 for a guy that hasn't given up a run yet. It does feel like McClintock really needs a quick inning.
He hadn't given up a run, but he's certainly got some guys have gotten on, but showing a lot of moxie there once Martinsburg gets guys in scoring position. Again, that just says a lot about both these guys as they fight through these elements here tonight. It's just a nasty night with the wind blowing and everybody with the heavy jackets on, and tough night for baseball, especially pitchers.
Here's a liner into the right center field gap, and it looks like the right fielder Kisner is going to be able to get in front of it, but it is a base hit for Armolt to start off the fourth.
Yeah, Armolt didn't try to do a whole lot there. Got a pitch on the outer half, stayed with it, stayed behind it, and just drove it into right center field. Not trying to hit the ball of the park, not trying to swing out of his shoes there. Just did enough there to. Like he might get pinch run for Kurt. Yeah, he might get pinch run for here. Possibly, yeah. Comes number 6. Braden gives way to his pinch runner. I'm not sure who number 6 is. Oh, Spiker, yeah, sorry about that. Yep. So Spiker will come in to run. He's going to come down here, and as we got a little time out here, Coach Byler is going to talk to pitcher, batter, Deeds and Spiker, and kind of cold out there, so we're going to McClintock's going to throw a little warm-up, couple of pitches there to the third baseman Henson to stay loose as Martinsburg getting the first runner on there. I think I might only be their, second hit?
It is only their second hit, yep.
So McClintock here to see what he can do with Deeds there. Martinsburg probably in a bunt situation. Henchman's way up. Pavanelli holding. There's a Gilbert second, and Zimmerman at short, all playing sort of a bunt defense here as they all shade. As Henchman pulls up. See Spiker's lead.
Deeds squares around the bunt, and he misses for a strike, but it gets away from Pershuk behind the plate, and that'll accomplish the same sort of thing, but without the out. As
he moved him up there. Martinsburg's going up to take that opportunity there to do it again, maybe. If nothing else, to see if the ball gets through, as it was actually, a strike there. He offered for it, and it just got through the two-hole there of the catcher.
Squaring around again is Deeds. He will pull this one back. Ball one.
So Martinsburg's going to try to take the base hit and try to get it over to third here with the sacrifice after the ball got through the catcher there on the failed bunt attempt. Now you have Pavanelli pulled all the way up. Henchman staying home. And you've got Zimmerman holding, as we just had a kind of a fake pick off there. Spiker got back. You can see the second baseman Gilbert shaded to the first now in order to cover the bag.
Coming to the plate, Deed squares around. First baseman will pick it up and throw to the bag at first as Gilbert covers. Martinsburg does advance the runner over to third.
Yeah, so that's going to ensure, possibly, the number 9 and the leadoff guy for Martinsburg both an opportunity to drive this run in, and McClintock's going to have to be careful to not, play around with a lot of curveballs and dirt, things like that might get away to tie this game. So he's going to have to keep the ball up in the hitting zone and try, but he's been the wizard of keeping guys at third base, not letting them score so far this game. See if he can keep that streak alive. I think we're going to the 4th straight inning with a man on third for Martinsburg.
Yep.
So he throws that one low for ball one to R.J. Brown, tying run on third. Infield drawn all the way in to the grass.
And the 1-0 will catch his own for a strike.
Sometimes you'll play it all the way in on the grass, like tight end, like Musselman. Sometimes you can play, kind of trust your arm, in the baseline. But right now Musselman's playing on the grass and taking a step in as the pitch is delivered on their prep steps.
Here's a squeeze attempt, miss, and runner might be caught in a rundown. Sure is. Spiker going back and forth. McClintock going to run over and tag him from behind. For out number 2, and another runner on third doesn't find home for Martinsburg.
Yeah, another run there that was this one wasn't actually left on third, but it was he didn't get in there, so he was picked off there on the failed bunt attempt, the failed squeeze attempt. Nice job by McClintock. Looked like he kind of pitched it up and away there. R.J. Brown wasn't able to get a bat on it, caught Spiker halfway down the line, and then the ensuing pickle play as he got caught there. Eventually, McClintock runs down Spiker, so now Martinsburg has 2 outs and nobody on.
2-1 is fouled away, so McClintock 1 strike from sending down Martinsburg in just 3 batters, not exactly 1, 2, 3, but
McClintock has been the wizard here of keeping Martinsburg off the board, even with the runners on scoring position.
And there's a strike 3, but it bounces away from Pershuk. He's going to have to throw it down quick, not in time. So that'll keep the inning alive. Because Pershuk, I think, thought it bounced to the left of him, but it bounced over to the right.
It caught him in the forearm, or excuse me, in the bicep on that swing and strike. It was a great pitch by McClintock. It really dug in on the curve and had R.J. Brown offering for it, and it caught Perchek in the bicep, and it kicked up the first baseline. He spun around by the time he realized where it was. Speedy R.J. Brown was on, so Martinsburg back in business here, and McClintock seen himself in a familiar spot with base runners on with 2 outs.
Back to the top of the order for the Bulldogs. Christian Alter looks at the first pitch for strike 1. Does not seem like he thought it was strike 1, but he'll step back in with an 0-1 count.
Martinsburg's got a lot of speed at the plate and on the base to see if they opt to try to take off.
McClintock will step off and look R.J. Brown back to first without a throw. Now he'll throw over.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Tried to fake him out, catch him off guard, but Brown, instincts, reaction time, gets himself back.
RJ's a great base runner. He ran, a very talented team last year. He got a lot of playing time by running. He's going to take off here.
And it bounces away from Pershuk. Brown thinks about third base. Easily had second with the stolen base. Yeah. I think Pershuk might have tried to pop up for the throw before he had the ball in his glove.
Yeah, it kind of threw him off a little bit when RJ took off. He kind of come up, but the ball got away and kicked away. RJ, at first everybody's yelling 3, but RJ had kind of let up a little bit as he come to second, so he didn't have a chance once he realized that the ball was still not picked up by Pershuk.
1-1 to Alter with the runner on second now is in for a strike.
There's a nice job by Pershuk there by framing that one in there on the outer half. Great pitch, great job by the catcher.
So McClintock up to 5 strikeouts after that dropped third strike to R.J. Brown. Here's the 1-2. That will bounce in front for ball 2. Pershuk able to block that one. 2-2, 2 outs in this 1-0 game. Musselman trying to stay on top. The Bulldogs once again with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, as they have in every inning. And here's one that again gets through Pershuk to the backstop. And once again, Martinsburg runner on third with 2 outs.
Yep, they're right back at it. It wouldn't be an inning if Martinsburg didn't have a runner on third with 2 outs. And 4 innings in a row, correct me if I'm wrong, but looks like
you're right.
So McClintock once again, 3-2, 2 outs. Dangerous Christian Alter at the plate. Musselman's playing him straight up. R.J. Brown on third takes his lead.
And this is lined into center field. Martinsburg will get on the board. R.J. Brown steps on home, and we're tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, so the drop third strike gets away. Then you get a ball in the dirt on the steal. They stand up, steal at second. You get another ball that gets away, moves him to third. Then you finally get Martinsburg gets the first, finally breaks through with a 2-out single with runners in scoring position to tie the ball game up 1-1.
RBI single for Alter after he started the day 0 for 2. Brings up Grant Henderson, and there's another one. Bounces away from Pershuk. He's going to throw down to second base. Not nearly in time, as Alter will move to second.
It's kind of been the theme here of Martinsburg's, moving up. As they get on base, they seem to find their way to third after a few pitches here and there.
Henderson fouls away the 1-0 pitch. It's been a tough time for Pershuk behind the plate so far today. You mentioned that Musselman, it's not a position that he's played for the entire game for many of Musselman's games so far this year.
Yeah, we've seen him out in the outfield. We've seen him in the lineup a good bit today, catching. And
1-1 is going to come in high.
Got to give him credit, getting back there, getting after it, Need some baseballs here as the umpires are asking for the ball here. Musselman got a few people out here on behind the bench, just throwing a little bit, so not sure exactly if they're going to make some changes or what have you, if the guys are just getting loose, staying warm. Grant Henderson with a chance to take the lead here, get Martinsburg to take the lead here if he can help himself out here as he's batting for himself tonight. Was on the mound through a great inning last inning.
McClintock will step off the mound. Will Alter back to second. And the pitch, 2-1. This is hit deep into the gap. Left center field going over for it. And off the glove of Taryn Boyles. Christian Alter is going to score and give Martinsburg the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Grant Henderson jumped into that one. It kept, the ball's not carrying well. and to give Taryn Boyles a chance. He kept going and kept going. Eventually, he did get a fingertip on it, but he couldn't quite haul it in there as it was hammered. And clearly a double there for Grant Henderson as the center fielder Gams and Taryn Boyles both give chase, and just off the fingertips there of Taryn Boyles, who nearly made an unbelievable catch out there as he went a long way and almost tracked that down, but didn't quite get there. Martinsburg takes the lead 2-1. They're going to get Tomlinson in to run for the pitcher there, who just helped himself out.
Just like that, Martinsburg is on top. Jameer Brown fouls back the first pitch of his at-bat.
So Martinsburg scored 2 runs there since the run down that eliminated the runner at third. They had 2 outs and nobody on, and now suddenly they are scored 2 runs and a man on second, one of their best hitters to the plate.
That's how the third inning went and started at the very least for McClintock, as the next pitch is in low. And McClintock was able to send down the first 2 batters in the third and then loaded the bases with 3 walks, but then he was able to get out of it with a ground ball put out by the third baseman. But now this time Martinsburg able to take advantage and take the lead. Here's another bouncer that gets past Pershuk. And we'll see Tomlinson get over to third. He'll stay there. 2-1 count.
Once again, you got 2 outs and the man on the third. So as Musselman has their theme has been fouled off and keep them at the basket lab, Martinsburg's theme is to read dirt balls, move up, and see if we can manufacture some runs here that way.
Next pitch is out of the zone, 3-1. So once again, runner on third and 2 outs. Martinsburg was able to take advantage for the first time in this inning. See if they can keep it up or if McClintock can get out of it. Here's a grounder right back to McClintock. Pops off his glove, but right back to him. He's going to run it over to first base and step on the bag. He made that a little more dramatic than it needed to be, I think.
Yeah, Jameer was kind of trotting down. He was trotting down. They were watching each other, and both of them decided to turn it into high gear and have a foot race there in the last 10 feet. But great inning there for Martinsburg as they were able to rebound back from that 2-out faux pas there on the squeeze and manufactured 2 runs. But Musselman once again getting two quick outs, not able to finish it, and that's kind of hurt them this year. And so see if Grant Henderson comes out with the fire that he had at the bottom, his last inning.
Yep, Henderson looked good, 3 up, 3 down last time out. Now he's got the lead to work with. It's 2-1 Bulldogs after they get some runs up on the board finally for the first time. So we'll take a 60-second break. We'll be back with more EPAC Baseball Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Panhandle Printing and Design is your full-service local print shop.
With over 50 years of combined experience, we know how to handle all of your printing and design needs.
We can handle anything, from small business cards to wrapping large vehicles. Our in-house design team can do it all. As a staple of this community, we love helping people promote their events, businesses, and anything they're passionate about. Envision, create, and bring your ideas to life with Panhandle Printing and Design.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Musselman for the first time today, working without the lead. We're trailing for the first time, we should say. It's 2-1 Martinsburg. First pitch of the inning is to Will Pavanelli. He'll swing through it and miss for strike 1. Bottom 4, brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown.
Yep, Pavanelli, one of the guys who did bear up a ball here in this Musselman lineup against Henderson early there. So, Grant looking for a little bit of revenge here as he's kind of settled in. Pavanelli looking to continue his success.
He doubled off of Henderson in the first as the 0-1 bounces in for ball 1.
Yeah, much like Henderson's shot there, just got just out of the reach of the left fielder.
1-1 taken for strike number 2.
Wind's died down a little bit according to the flags out there. It's still blowing, don't get me wrong, it's still cold, but it was not blowing like it was the first 2 innings.
1-2, grounded over to first base. Loper gets it in. He's going to toss it to Henderson. Steps on the bag for the first out. So that's 5 in a row retired for Grant Henderson going back to the end of the second inning.
Yeah, that's just a nice play. A lot of times pitchers at this level, they won't get over. That was just, immediately when that ball was hit, Henderson was gone. Just shows his ability to defend his position as well as his pitch from there. So nice job there from Henderson and Loper. Done that many a time in practice and in games. So locked in there on that play, on that PFP they call it.
Taryn Boyles fouls off the first pitch. Boyles was the only strikeout that Henderson got the first time through the order. Boyles went down swinging. Now he starts down 0-1 and make it 0-2 as he looks at this one.
So, see, Grant has kind of dialed it in here. He's found it. Looks like, Musselman better, try to get back in this thing, have some at-bats like they were earlier.
Grounder and foul still. Just past Zarnecki at third.
Musselman doing what they do. Stay alive. They're calling the Bee Gees here tonight. They've stayed alive in that batter's box a lot.
And Papanelli, that double that he had in the first inning, is the last hit that they've gotten off of Henderson. Oh. And here's a hit by pitch as the 0-2 runs in and catches Boyles in the shoulder.
And Grant knows as a pitcher, 0-2 hit batters is a no-no, and you could see as he winced and mad at himself that he got up in there. 0-2 pitches, you want them to, you want to challenge or get them to fish, and you certainly don't want to let them off the hook. You got them right where you want them, and then you give him a free base there. So he's going to walk off behind the mound, gather himself. He's going to, he'll get a little passionate, a little miffed about it at first, but he'll shake it off here. And turn, tell his infielders, hey, back to me. We're going to hook up for a double play here. We're going to turn it and going to reset. So, man on first here, Boyles, tang run.
First pitch comes in across the zone. It's 0-1.
Boyles at first, representing a tying run. Tanner Sharp here at the plate.
Sharp reached base after Zarnecki mishandled a ground ball. Over at third, lead off the second inning.
Coach Hartman giving lots of signs over there. Get runners going.
Hit and run off the glove of Henderson as he went for it, and it'll be a throw over to first base for the second out. So
nice job there. Yeah, if Tanner can get that ball past the pitcher, get a little something on it. He did have Christian Alters cover and left that hole wide open. So, Hartman did call that. He's saying, hey, I called it. It does work if he gets a little more on it. It's a genius play, but good job by, great job by Grant once again defending his position as he's able to make that play. Stay out, not let the chaos of the hit and run, affect his decision making. Gathered himself after the ball was bobbled for a second there on the hit and run. Gets the throw over to first, and now you got 2 outs with the man on second. If he's able to get some bat on that ball, you're looking at first and third with 1 out. As Alter vacated second base there. So, if you call it and it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't work, people will wonder. So
And here's Ethan Hinchman. First pitch popped up over at shortstop. Jameer Brown moves in and makes the play for the third out.
Grant settled in.
There you go. Hit by pitch, but that's the only runner Musselman gets on, and they can't get him home. So the Bulldogs will keep the 2-0 lead as we move to the 5th inning. Top of the 5th after the 60-second break. EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Day is done for Wyatt McClintock on the mound. Only gives up 1 or 2 runs in the end, but both of those coming in his last inning of work. So with Musselman down 2-1, we'll see a new pitcher come in for Musselman.
Yeah, McClintock got to run that pitch count around 97. I didn't expect to see him back out there. Finishes the day, 4 innings, 97 pitches, 50 for strikes. He only gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 0 earned runs, and he struck out 5 and walked 5. So, battled through some tough elements here in a tough Martinsburg lineup there with probably what he'll tell you not his best stuff, like I said earlier, but still giving his team a chance to win. He was able to leave a lot of runners stranded there for Martinsburg as he dug in there with 1 out, 2 outs with base runners on, was able to keep Martinsburg off the board. Finally, last inning, they, after 2 outs and nobody on, Martinsburg was able to bring some runners around, get a couple of hits, get a pass ball, wild pitch, however you want to call it, for another run. So Martinsburg being opportunistic that inning, and now they're going to see a new pitcher, new catcher. As we're going to see Isaac Gilbert go to the plate. He'll switch places with McClintock in the field, and then we'll have a different catcher as well, as Chase Cosner will now enter the game.
Call to the bullpen, brought to you by Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution, located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. Isaac Gilbert will wind up and throw to Loper, and it's going to be lined into center field. First pitch single for Bradley Loper.
Yeah, Loper sitting on that fastball is up a little bit and over the plate. He just drove it into center field. So, Gilbert come in and doing what he's supposed to do, throw strikes, throw to contact. But that's a good thing, good place there for Loper. He'd been kicking himself a little bit, got off to a little bit of a slow start. Good to see him get a base hit there. And once he finds a little confidence, he's going to be a big part of this lineup. He's batting in the 4-hole for a reason, because Martinsburg and Coach Byler has confidence in him and looking for him to do big things here this season.
Malachi Green bunting. Gilbert thinks about the throw to second and hesitated just enough to where I don't think he thought he could get it there in time. He'll throw it to first, and the sacrifice for Martinsburg will be successful.
Yeah, it would have been a close play. I mean, Loper, held in there, was reading the ball down. As soon as it hit, he got a jump, took off, but it was right back to the pitcher. He turned and wheeled, and there was an opportunity there. It was going to have to be a close play, a bang, bang, but he opted, which he should have, for the, for the out there at first, the sure out.
Brings up Silas Zarnecki. The runner on second, and 1 out. Gilbert looks back at second, now he'll throw. And the fastball is outside for ball 1. Wyatt McClintock goes 4 innings, gives up 4 hits and 5 walks, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts.
Grant took advantage of a quick inning there, last 2 quicker innings, and he was able to bring that pitch count into respectable to 71 here after 4. As McClintock ended up with 97 there after 4, as Martinsburg battled. There was 2 outs, extended that inning, and that was the undoing of McClintock there. Again, no earned, a great night for McClintock. Still didn't give up any earned runs, just a lot of small things there that caused Musselman to give up the lead.
A 1-0. Gilbert will get that one in for strike one.
Zarnecki's a good patient hitter at the plate. I've watched him here this season. He extends at bats. He sees a lot of pitches a lot of times. Doesn't swing early a whole lot. He gets himself in hitter's counts.
The 1-1 is off the plate. 2-1.
A lot of guys in this Martinsburg team and a few on the Musselman team, they haven't seen a lot of varsity play and are, coming up big this year and growing up and getting experience fast. Zarnecki being one of them.
He hits this one, looks like in play, drooping down in the right field, diving forward and missing is Kisner in right. It's going to get down. Zarnecki's going to get himself a double as it falls in.
Yeah, base runner at second there. A pinch runner come in, number 12 for Martinsburg, and he was held up by the fly ball, so he couldn't score as Zarnecki gets one to drop in on the chalk.
So Martinsburg will have two runners in scoring position once again, with one out here for Armolt.
Elliott is running for. Elliott was running there for Loper. Again, he was kind of held up because it was a fly ball there, and it was just kind of staying there in the Bermuda Triangle, trying to move up if the ball's caught. And once the ball hit, both the fielders were around the ball quickly and was able to keep him there.
After an 0-1 pitch, this is lined in the left. It'll get down easily for a single, and again, Martinsburg will easily get their third run of the game across.
Yeah, Armolt coming up big. 2 hits tonight there, an RBI single, and it's a great job there for the young Armolt. Another one of those young men that was came into the year with no varsity experience to speak of, and just coming up big here for Martinsburg, and was a big part of the game last night in the comeback. And he was in the bottom there of the order there, where he got on base and swung the bat, forced Washington to make plays, and just coming in there, confidence building for these young men as the season grows, and that's what Coach Baller was going to need out of these guys. They were going to have to grow up quick. Thought they come off to a little bit of a slow start here, but actually got a win last night that thought maybe if Jameer throws perfect, he thought maybe they had a shot to get a little bit of offense, and he got exactly that. So here they are now trying to put the hammer down on another EPAC opponent as these young Bulldogs are growing up pretty quick. We're going to see McClintock call timeout, go out and talk to his senior pitcher. Deeds at the plate, Zarnecki at third, and you got Armold, who just delivered the RBI single on first. So we're going to come and meet as the infield comes in on the first and third play. We'll talk about it a little bit, see what Martinsburg opts to do. Martinsburg has stolen. First to third has taken off. Looks like Martinsburg's going to maybe find a runner also for Armold, possibly, as I see some guys.
So they might try. It's Deeds up so far. He has struck out swinging and has sacrificed on a bunt. That's in the second and fourth innings. He comes up here in the fifth.
Armold's going to return back. I'm not going to run for him. He's the DH, so make that a little tougher. Deeds to the plate, sacrifice. Martinsburg with an opportunity here. Once again with the runner on third. They've had a lot of guys over there visiting Coach Baller. Took them until the fourth inning to actually score from third there. So, but now they've scored a few times here in a row, a few innings in a row.
Deeds takes the first pitch for strike one on the inside corner. Martinsburg in this inning already has extended their lead to 3-1. Runners on the corners to try to break it out even further. Runner goes from first. Bunt is fouled back.
Martinsburg had forced the defense to move a little bit there as they bunt and run, trying to get Musselman to make a mistake, maybe or throw the ball away or throw it to the wrong base, maybe get a bunt that's good enough that could have safety squeezed Silas home. So a lot of options there on that play as Martinsburg put the runners in motion.
0-2 count the Deeds. Pitch from Gilbert. It'll be fouled straight back.
Deeds was right on that one, just missed it. Deeds is in the lineup tonight. Didn't start regularly there early in the season. Now he's had a couple of bats last night. Got a start here tonight. So Deeds also on the team last year, but didn't see a tremendous amount of time. So another guy looking to get some experience here early.
Outside on the 0-2 for ball one. R.J. Brown on deck. He scored Martinsburg's first run when he came across last inning. Gilbert gets the sign from his catcher. And he'll throw this one low and outside for ball two. As you were just showing me, Tripp on a game changer, 7-0. Washington currently leading over Hedgesville. The top of the fifth inning.
Sven Dupree on the mound for Washington.
Here's a 2-2 from Gilbert. Just outside. Ball three.
Sven Dupree on the mound for Washington down there. He's shut the Eagles out so far, only giving up 4 hits in 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, and no walks on the other side. Mason Elliott, Brian French, and Jay Vians have combined there for 4 innings. 5 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned, 7 strikeouts. So right now, Washington with a commanding lead after after the loss last night to Martinsburg. They're rebounding well. Hedgesville, in a walk-off style last night, beat Jefferson and looked to be kind of taking a little bit of maybe a lead here in the EPAC. But then here comes Washington. So iron sharpens iron in the EPAC. It is never a night off, as you can see here, a 3-1 game. And
this 3-2 pitch is grounded to shortstop. They'll get one at second, but not in time to get the double play. It was too slow of a grounder. So Martinsburg gets a 4th run across in this game, second one in the inning, to give themselves a 3-run lead.
Yeah, D just did what he had to do. You just got to get the ball in play, not strike out, make them make a play. Ball hit that grass, slowed down a little bit. The run, Salas comes across, and Deeds runs a hard 90, and the fielder's choice there, and the 6-4 and over to 3 scores the run with the double play unsuccessful.
First pitch swing is R.J. Brown. It's going to be hit over to shortstop again. Zimmerman throws on to second, and this time the force out is the 3rd out. And Martinsburg, for the 2nd inning in a row, gets in 2 runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th, and now all of a sudden, after Musselman kept a 1-run lead up until the top of the 4th, they now trail 4-1. So we get to the bottom of the 5th after the 60-second break. EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
So what? So what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're going to have to work at it every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want you and me forever, every day. What do you want? What do you want? Come on, what do you want?
What do you want?
I want Panhandle dumpsters for the first month free.
Use the promo code to get the first month free.
It's your wellness update with Floor Pools. Today, correspondent Robbie the Duck investigates new ways to manage stress. Let's go live to Finland. Well, our fine feathered journalist has discovered something truly relaxing. Saunas. Yes, saunas have been an integral part of life in Finland for over 2,000 years. Saunas help you find peace, reduce stress, improve circulation, and even detoxify your body. Go on, Rob. Now bring this Finnish tradition to your home. Floor Pools has the perfect sauna for you. From compact models to luxurious retreats, choose from traditional, infrared, or hybrid models. Specially priced starting as low as $73 a month at Floor Pools in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and Martinsburg. Floor Pools' intrepid, web-footed field reporter will bring you future sauna updates right here on the All Quackness channel. Until then, remember, relaxation is just a sauna away.
Chase Cosner coming to the plate for his first at bat tonight after taking over the catching position there for Puracek. And here comes Grant Henderson's 72nd pitch, and it's a foul ball, believe it or not.
How about that?
Martinsburg with that 4-1 lead now, and Henderson feeling pretty good about himself. Excuse me, that was pitch number 74. See what he can do with his lead here. Settle in as he has the last couple innings.
And here's another one fouled off this time.
Stay settled in, stay in the groove. Both times Martinsburg had a little bit longer inning there, had him setting over there, so you wonder if that affects him. But, you know, he's been through that before, and he just looks like he has a different demeanor here in the middle part of the inning or game here.
And the 0-2 pops off the glove of Braden Fox just outside for ball 1. Chase Cosner, first at-bat for him after coming in for Jacob Pershuk, who had some struggles behind the plate. And strike 3 looking on the outside part of the plate. 4th strikeout for Grant Henderson.
Yeah, all coming here in the middle of the game as he has really settled in and found his groove. And, you know, it kind of reminds you of like Mason McGill the other week with Martinsburg, where towards the end of the game, he just started racking the strikeouts up and just challenging hitters. And that's sort of what you see now of Henderson at the moment.
Kisner will look at the first pitch low for a ball. Musselman still looking for their 3rd hit of the game. Their second one came in the bottom of the first. And the 1-0 comes in for a strike. And the 1-1 will also catch the zone.
Yeah. He's got the umpire in the groove now as he's moving, working quick and throwing the ball around the zone.
And there's another strikeout. This time it's swinging. Seth Kisner goes down.
Yeah, Henderson is really feeling it. He knows that he battled through them first couple innings, and now he wants to show everybody exactly what he's made of, the moxie that he has, and what he's capable of. And he's out there working quick, throwing the ball well, velocity's up, controls up and back, and throwing the ball really well here late in the game.
First pitch ball, second pitch foul ball.
Back to the top of the order here. Gans had that swinging bunt for a base hit. The only ball that's really been hit hard against Henderson early was that double by Pavanelli that got over the left fielder's head. And there he throws the ball as he's working hard, threw the ball down for a ball. It was a 2-1 count.
2-1 pitch. Big cut and a miss. 2-2. This is the 3rd time through the order for the Applemen. The 2nd time through the order, the only base runner was the hit by pitch against Taryn Boyles. 2-2 called ball 3.
Yeah, everybody was walking off. He thought they've gotten some outside pitches, some pitches there, maybe on the black there. That one was just a little too far off.
Payoff pitch, and this is going to be cut on and hit foul, just out of play.
Henderson looking for a quick inning here. Another 1-2-3.
And there's a ground ball, softly hit over to third base. Throw by Zarnecki across the diamond. In time. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for Grant Henderson.
Henderson's taking control of this game now. His team give him some run support, and now he just looks like he's going to, be dominant here. He's reached 88 pitches, so I'm not sure he can go, 7 or what the plans are, but he certainly has shown that he's got what it takes.
So we'll take a 60-second break, and when we come back, it'll be inning number 6 here from Inwood. Martinsburg leading 4-1 over the Applemen. The EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Moving to the top of the 6th inning, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, Grant Henderson on a roll on the mound for the Bulldogs. They now have a 4-1 lead after the last 2 innings of work, have finally seen their ability to get the runners into scoring position finally turn into runs. And now they work here with 6 more outs to work with. They see if they can extend this lead.
Yeah, once Martinsburg turned it up a notch a little bit offensively and took some opportunities. Took the opportunity that were given to him, scored some runs, give Grant Henderson a chance to settle in there, and he has dominated since then. Helped himself with a double, so he's really put the team on his back there early. Kept them in the game. Nice double to give him an RBI. Then he's just dominated the last couple innings as he's not allowed Musselman back as Christian Alter takes strike one.
Isaac Gilbert's second inning of work. A 1 pitch is a low in the dirt for a ball.
Yeah, when you score like that, score a run or 1 run or 2 runs or anything, your goal when you get scored against is to come back and answer. And when you don't answer, and you in the run here and the run in, next thing you know, you're down 2 or 3 runs, and that's what Grant's done a great job of.
Chopper right back to the pitcher. Gilbert throws over for the out.
Yeah, soft contact there for Alter. Nice job by Gilbert, who, his job is in there just to keep the game close, stop the bleeding there a little bit, and to give the offense a chance to get back in it. And Martinsburg, like I said, took advantage here in the middle of the game of some free bases and opportunities, and finally broke the seal on those base runners in scoring position there in the 4th, and then Grant Henderson did a great job of not allowing the other team to answer and keep that momentum, but not only allowing him not to answer, but just kind of taking control.
This will be the 8th batter faced for Gilbert. They've all made contact so far. Henderson makes contact on this one, but hits it straight back. Foul.
Yeah, Gilbert's not known for, power pitch and strikeout guys. Throws a contact. Lets his defense work, keeps his pitch count down, and like he's done so far this inning here, soft contact to the leadoff guy Alter, throwing strikes. No strikes now to Henderson on the 1-1 count here.
Henderson so far 1 for 2 with an RBI double in his last at bat, that 4th inning. That double gave Martinsburg the lead. Henderson drew a walk in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 3rd. The 1-1 from Gilbert. Gets it for strike 2. Henderson watches it go on the outside part of the plate.
Henderson's been living there as well, so he probably knew it.
I think he's fine with that as long as he gets the call, too. 1-2.
No, you want it both ways. You want it when you're pitching.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Martinsburg's got it. Number 7 got Alter in the bullpen, looking to maybe try to close this thing down as Henderson's pitch counts climbed in the 80s.
Ball 2 came in, and now here's one that is fouled over. And I believe off the top of a truck over there.
If not, it was close.
Might have just went right over it. Count stays 2-2. With 1 out, here's Martinsburg leads 4-1 in the top of the 6th. Ball comes in low for ball 3.
Full count here. Dangerous Henderson at the plate. Doubled already today. He kind of watched feeding him a fastball right down the gut. You're going to have to paint a corner here if you're going to keep him off the bases.
And he tries to hold back his swing, but he can't. Check swing, strike 3.
Yeah, it was a great pitch there. Like I said, he painted that outside corner. 3-2. You're thinking fastball strike, but you also know base hit ball four, But he knows that that outer half has extended just maybe a ball here tonight a little bit, and he knew better try to protect it, but he couldn't hold it back.
2 outs now. Gilbert throws in the first pitch to Jameer Brown for a strike. So far, Brown 1 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, and a single. Grounded out right to the pitcher last time up. Mike McClintock raced him over to the bag. And the 0-1 is fouled away. Loper on deck, 1 for 2 himself. A single run scored, a walk and a strikeout. Here's the 0-2 to Brown, and here's another one hit foul. Keeps the count 0-2.
Marbury finding some success here in the EPAC by cleaning up the strikeouts. They were striking out at a pretty good clip there. Of course, they've seen a lot of good pitching, and they, a lot of guys number ones, but still, they were able, when they're able to get the ball in play, they're good on the bases. They move runners around. Coach Bowler, bunts, pushes guys around, steals. So, if you can get them on, but, if you don't hit the baseball, the other team doesn't have to do anything, and you don't have to worry about, making a mistake. The other team making mistakes if you strike out.
0-2 again from Gilbert. They'll be taken high and away for ball 1. McClintock was able to strike out Martinsburg 5 times in his 4 innings of work. Just saw Gilbert get his first strikeout there, but otherwise, Martinsburg been able to get on the bases today. 1-2, low and away to even the count.
Washington has a commanding 9-0 lead against Hedgesville in the bottom of the 5th with Case and Plogger at the plate with Levi Faircloth on first. Nobody out here at the bottom of the 5th. Washington up 9-0.
Here's the 2-2 to Brown. That'll be fouled away.
Hedgesville with an uncanny 4 errors. A team that's been really good in the field. A little letdown tonight.
Typically 8 seniors out there for them.
Yeah, 7 walks. The free bases are beating them tonight as they're only getting out hit 8-5.
Gilbert winds and fires another 2-2, and he gets him to swing and miss. Brown goes down to end the inning. Isaac Gilbert, after giving up 2 runs in his first inning of work, comes back 3 up, 3 down, with 2 strikeouts. And that'll send Musselman back to the plate, still trailing by 3. It's 4-1 Martinsburg. After the 60-second break, we'll be back with the bottom of the 6th. As Musselman just has 6 outs to work with to get back into this one. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
The Apple Blossom Festival is celebrating 98 years, and here is this year's new additions. The Flying Circus Air Show, presented by Omp's Funeral Home, a sure way to wow the entire family with aerial stunts. Laugh Out Loud Comedy Show, featuring 3 acts. The Valley Pediatric Dentistry Family Fun Party. It brings food, games, inflatables, face painting, and desserts with all the excitement at the Tolly Dental Zone. The Blossom and Artisan Fair, featuring over 200 juried vendors. There is so much fun at The Bloom. Visit thebloom.com. That's thebloom.com.
Bottom of the 6th inning here from the Musselman Baseball Complex. Bottom 6 is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online, and they'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. Musselman trails by 3. 6 outs to go. Isaac Gilbert, the relief pitcher, leads off the inning, taking strike one from Henderson. And Henderson has been on a roll.
Yeah, he's been on a mission since the middle of the game there.
This is a chopper right over the second base bag, barehanded and thrown by Jameer Brown, but wide of the first baseman Loper.
Yeah, it was almost a top 10 play as Jameer ball come off the mound. Had a funny little hop there. He kind of kicked it back on him, but he reached back with his bare hand and it just forced him to kind of throw off balance as he had all his momentum going towards first. When that ball kicked it back and he had to go barehanded, then it left him, he flew open a little bit throw and just threw wide of first, but that was nearly a top 10 play.
Well, Musselman
showing some life here.
Yep, with a pulse. Wyatt McClintock up 0 for 2 so far against Henderson. A leadoff base runner to work with. Here's strike one thrown by Henderson. That's the first hit for Musselman since the first inning.
Martinsburg did warm up Christian Alter there in their offensive inning, so, if there's any trouble or the pitch count rises here for Henderson, you'd probably see a pretty easy straight swap second base to pitcher.
Henderson with a pickoff attempt. Now he'll come to the plate 0-1. Runner going, swinging strike two, but it's in the dirt, so no play. Gilbert able to steal second base easily.
A little hit and run there with McClintock. Good play. It forces, leaves the left field. Leaves the right side wide open for the left-handed hitting McClintock. He swung through it though, but Gilbert easily taking the base on the ball that kicked around the dirt a little bit on the swinging strike in the dirt, leaving Fox no chance for the runner.
Henderson gives a look back now to the plate, and it'll bounce past the catcher, and to third base goes Gilbert.
Yeah, 56-footer. He just dunked that one. It didn't make it to the plate there. He just lost his grip on that one. So, but quickly back to the mound is Henderson as he's got a man on third, 3-run lead, nobody out, and Musselman looking to cut into this deficit.
The 1-2 outside for ball two. Great chance for the Applemen to at least get one run here.
Martinsburg leaving the defense back, opting to take the out for the run here as opposed to pulling up and seeing McClintock maybe push one through the infield and extend the inning. They'll take a 4-2 lead with one out and nobody on as opposed to a 4-2 lead with, no outs and maybe a man on first if the ball gets through. So Martinsburg keeping the defense back. Outfield playing straight up.
Henderson to the plate. Fouled off by McClintock.
And it's a foul ball.
Pavanelli on deck. Taryn Boyle's in the hole.
Here right in the heart of this Musselman lineup, they can do some damage.
Another 2-2. High. Bounces way up off the glove of Fox. And easily coming across and scoring that second run for the Applemen is Gilbert.
Yeah, Musselman has a pulse here, giving them a little bit of momentum. He's got that lead down to 2. Nobody out. McClintock to the plate, 3-2. Pitch, big pitch here. Don't want to. Martinsburg doesn't want to. Henderson doesn't want to put another runner on here. Musselman looking to get on anyway at all. Base hit, ball 4.
And that's a swinging strike 3 instead.
Big pitch. That was a big spot right there. Again, Martinsburg was opting, leaving the defense back anyway. They would have taken the 4-2 lead with one out and nobody on. They'd like to have it another way other than the ball that got away, but they'll take it.
It was a wild pitch that has scored both of Musselman's runs so far. That's first pitch to Pavanelli, comes in high for a ball. And the 1-0. This is going to be hit high into center field. Going back for it is R.J. Brown, but he's under it. And that's the second out. Henderson settling in there. Some good contact for the Applemen, which you haven't seen a ton of today. But right into the glove. And Musselman down to just 4 outs. They have cut the lead to just 2. Still trail 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. It brings up Will Pavanelli. Or excuse me, Taryn Boyles. After the fly out by Pavanelli.
Yeah, Boyles is up here. Tanner Sharp's on deck.
1-0 from Henderson. Swing and miss. The fastball high. Boyles so far with a swinging strikeout in the first inning and a hit by pitch in the 4th.
Henderson's at 101 here now, so getting down to his, he'd probably like to get out of this inning without a switch.
1-1 grounded, and it's going to be a tough play, and no play at all actually for Alter over at second base. Here's a single for Taryn Boyles.
Yeah, Musselman hasn't gone away. They're in the middle of the innings. They were going 1, 2, 3, but now Musselman's showing a little life here as we get deep into the pitch count of Henderson. He expended a lot of energy early, with base runners on, and Musselman found off a lot of pitches and saved a lot of energy there as he cruised there through the middle, but now we're getting into the latter parts of the game here. Doesn't get the rest much on the bench either as he hits for himself and been on base, so big night for Henderson at the plate and on the mound.
Tanner Sharp steps in, takes ball 1 after the seeing eye single by Taryn Boyles. Sharp so far reached base on an error and reached base on a fielder's choice.
Musselman's pitcher on the other side, Isaac Gilbert, kept his team in the game and then just wheeled himself around the bases to score, so great job on his side.
Here's one outside again for ball 2.
Martinsburg trying to get to 4 and 3. Musselman trying to get to 4 and 5.
Musselman looking for their first EPAC win in general. 0-3 in that department. Runner takes a couple steps as if he's going to go, and the ball comes in high, but Boyles stays at first. 3-0 count to Sharp. Hinchman on deck if Sharp can continue the inning.
Yeah, if he ball 4 here, you might see the switch. Henderson's this is probably his last batter, excuse me.
3-0. Automatic strike comes across.
Cold out tonight.
And another pick-off attempt.
Cold out tonight, but I don't see Hartman with his big overcoat over there.
3-1. And it's going to be swung on, fouled off. Henderson gotten it back to 3-2.
See Nick Mobley in the crowd here tonight. Nick Mobley, all about plumbing. You can call Nick. You can call him on his cell phone day and night. He'll answer and come right away.
Payoff pitch from Henderson. Runner goes. There's a hit on a line in the right field. Coming in for it, and just off the glove for Malachi Green. And it looks like he's going to be able to come across all the way from first base and score. His play at the plate bounces off of and over Braden Fox, and the Applemen have cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, and Albert, actually, Tanner Sharp had a chance to get to third on the throw, and Coach Hartman's telling him, get over here, but he got the ball down there, played it safe. The ball got into the catcher as he was getting to second. Then it kicked up in the air and got away from. No way Grant could take it. Could pick it off either because it got up in the net and rolled around a little bit. But Sharp's going to get run for here as the DH is going to get run for by number 6 for Musselman, and they have a runner on second. 2 outs and a 1-run ball game here as Tanner Sharp delivers with 2 outs to give Musselman not only a pulse but a racing pulse now.
And Nicky Zimmerman will come in as that pinch runner.
So Zimmerman has entered the game now for the DH. So should his bat come back around, he will be batting.
And we'll take a 30-second break for the pitching change as Christian Alter steps on the mound. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Mark Hughes Plumbing and HVAC is here to solve your plumbing and heating problems while meeting your renovation needs. Now serving Berkeley, Jefferson, Hampshire, and Mineral counties. We're a family-owned and operated company that's fully licensed and insured. We can do kitchen and bathroom upgrades and remodels, plumbing, HVAC and light excavation, well pumps, water heaters, and drain clearing. Call 304-620-8013. Mark's Hughes Plumbing and HVAC. We look forward to working with you.
Another call to the bullpen, brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance. Christian Alter stepping up to the mound after Grant Henderson goes 5 2/3, 5 hits allowed on 3 runs given up, 6 strikeouts, walk and a hit by pitch. See what Alter can do here as Musselman has gotten 2 of the 3 runs they need to get this back to even, and they still have that runner out on second base to work with. Dylan Bishop and Trip Tobin with you on the call. Kyler High and Alec Epperson producing and working the cameras here on site. Nick Verzolini back at the studio as Ethan Hinchman steps to the plate with the tying run on second base in the bottom of the 6th. And here's one that bounces. Christian Alter's first pitch. Hinchman so far reached base on fielder's choice and popped up to the shortstop, Jameer Brown.
Trevor Sharp with that double there. It's the 4th double of the night for 2 for each team, and couldn't have come at a bigger time for him as Malachi Green came in, gave chase. I thought he was going to make the play there, and he just got another one just off the fingertips there, and then it kicked away just enough. Then he makes a big, strong throw home, and it just one hop the catcher there.
And this comes in for ball 2 as well.
We have us a ball game here. Just as it looked like Martinsburg was pulling away, Musselman's found some life, found some green, and
Christian Alter finds the strike zone. 2-1 count.
Washington Patriots are up 10-0 and trying to 10-run Hedgesville in the 6th.
Here's one hit right back to Alter. One hop. And the easy throw to first. Puts away the Applemen, leaving that tying run on second. But the Applemen do get 2 runs up on the board. Martinsburg's lead is now just 1 run, as we now are down to just 1 inning. We go to the 7th after the 60-second break. As EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
7th inning from Inwood. Top of the 7th brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. You can call them at 304-263-3361. And we'll see another inning of work for Isaac Gilbert. He tries to keep this deficit for the Applemen at just one run after, with partly his work, was able to come around and get 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Go from a 4-1 deficit to 4-3. And it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Martinsburg due up to see if they can get back some of those insurance runs they lost.
Yeah, Martinsburg's going to need to answer, and you don't want to go into the bottom of 7 with a 1-run lead. I mean, you'll take it, but you like to have some insurance runs. Isaac Gilbert looking to continue to, keep Martinsburg off the board here as he did last inning and give his team a chance to, to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th.
Gilbert's first pitch to Bradley Loper is taken for strike 1. The 0-1 will also get in there on the outside corner. 0-2 start for Loper, who singled last time around. 0-2, he's going to stay alive by fouling away.
You see Loper's confidence growing a little bit there as he's had a couple good quality at bats there, the last couple of bats, even the end of last game yesterday. So the number 4 hitter from Martinsburg heating up here in this cold weather.
And here's a foul tip off of the catcher.
Almost got the announcer's curse, didn't it? Gilbert does a good job of, like I said, he's not a power pitcher by any means, but he just keeps you off balance and, throw strikes. You can throw secondary pitches for strikes and just makes you guess.
Here's one hit the opposite way into left field. Boyles is under it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. That'll bring up Malachi Green. Sack bunt turned into a run for Martinsburg last time around in the 5th inning. I should say he at least helped push the run across the bases. As he'll take the first pitch outside. He also drew a walk in the 3rd and struck out in the 1st.
Yeah, Musselman's looking for a quick inning here. Martinsburg looking for insurance, and a little battle here with the hot-hitting Malachi Green. And at the moment, the reliever here in Isaac Gilbert has kept Martinsburg at bay, and as his team has pushed their way back into this thing.
Big swing and miss on the 1-0 and on the 1-1.
Yeah, 2 pitches, 2 challenges pitches, just not just down and in. He threw them up where he could see him and threw it by him.
Gilbert suddenly ahead in the count again, 1-2. 1 out. Here's the next pitch, and another one. 3 straight swings and misses for Malachi Green. Gets the 2nd out.
Yeah, that was a big, he threw 3 really nice placed pitch. That last pitch on the outer half, you couldn't ask for a better placement there.
So Martinsburg with their last out to work with to get an insurance run back. Silas Zarnecki, who dropped in a double just inside the foul line last time up, takes first pitch for a ball. Gilbert winds and fires, and this one also outside for ball 2. Zarnecki's reached base twice in his 3 at-bats. He drew a walk in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd, and had that double in the 5th. Gilbert's next pitch, that one will get in for strike 1. Gilbert readies with the 2-1. And the pitch, and it's a foul ball. Armalt awaits on deck. If Zarnecki can keep the inning going. Armalt's had 2 singles, second one for an RBI.
Yeah, if Varnecki can find his way on base and move up somehow, Martinsburg has a hot-hitting Armold on deck. He's already got 2 singles tonight.
2-2. Just outside. Musselman really wanted that call.
It was close. The outer half's been utilized tonight by the pitchers. They've used the black there, and Gilbert felt like he had gotten it again.
The count is full. Wind up and pitch. Fastball just outside again. This one a little more obvious. It was off the plate. Ball 4 keeps the inning alive for Martinsburg.
Yeah, 2 outs, man on first. They thought they had the strikeout there. Coach Hartman's going to walk out, call time, calm them down, say, hey, we're 1 pitch away here. Let's not lose our emotions. Well, looks like a good pitching change, actually. Sorry about that. Got somebody coming in from the bullpen.
He's been out there for a few innings now, 2 2/3. It does look like we will get a pitching change from the Applemen. Looks like that's Colin Alicio. He'll come in and warm up. We'll take a 30-second break as Musselman awaits their new pitcher to warm. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Colin Alicio steps in, another Smallwood and Small Insurance call to the bullpen. He'll come in to face Braden Armolt, the 7th spot in the Martinsburg order, as Martinsburg leads Musselman here 4-3 in the top of the 7th. So Tripp looks like Coach Hartman just wanted a fresh arm in there to try to get this last out.
Yeah, Armolt's been hot here, and so maybe going to give him a little different look. Lucio can come from the side, so their pitching plan here tonight and executing it. Right now, they're just an out away from getting themselves back to the dugout and trying to get that run across, get this thing tied up or walk it off. Right now over at Hedgesville, Hedgesville's down to Washington. Washington's up on Hedgesville 11-0. Finn Dupree has thrown 4 complete, and he's 74 pitches, 3 outs away from. 5 complete. They're in the 6th. He's 74 pitches. He's 3 outs away from a complete game against a very, very good Hedgesville team that, like I said, actually give Jefferson their very first loss last night. So once again, this is an EPAC that you never know. On any given night, anybody can beat anybody.
Lucio's first pitch finds his own first strike. Armalt watches it go by.
Big statement for Washington, too, after losing last night, to put their place back in there and say, hey, we belong at the top of this EPAC as well. As Armolt fouls one back there, gets 2 strikes, 0-2 real quick. But EPAC will come down to who's playing the best there at the end and who's healthy. And right now they're going to beat up on each other all spring long, and it's going to be an exciting sectional tournament when all 6 of them are together.
Zarnecki takes his lead off of first. Gilbert to the plate. Ball 1. Cosner will make a throw down. Over to first base, trying to get the runner, but no dice. So Alicio will step back in. Step back on the rubber, and Armolt stepping in at the plate. Here's a pitch, runner goes, and it's behind Armolt for ball 2.
Yeah, Martinsburg with the lead, going to opt to take off, put pressure. They're not chasing a run, so a little more little more, taking chances isn't quite as tough. You're not going to send the tying run, get thrown out second, but they're there to put a little pressure on Musselman's defense with the lead, and they took the opportunity and stole base, but it was behind the batter.
Another ball comes in. Armolt working through this at bat. Now has a runner in scoring position. His third single of the day would perhaps get Martinsburg back to a 2-run advantage. And he is going to get that one foul just barely.
Yeah, he was looking for his second double of the game there. That ball just missed a little chalk there. I thought for sure that it was a base hit there. It would have certainly would have drove Zarnecki in and given Martinsburg that insurance run. So almost swinging a hot bat here tonight, and Martinsburg finding some life there in the bottom of that lineup. As they started off the year, the offense was sort of stagnant.
Full count inside. Armolt gets on base, extends the inning for Martinsburg. So Alicio comes in relief of Gilbert after a walk and gives up one of his own. Runners on first and second for the Bulldogs with just this 1-run lead before the Applemen come up with their final 3 outs. Caleb Deeds steps in. Got himself an RBI on a fielder's choice last time. Takes first pitch in the dirt for a ball.
Deeds also has competitive at-bats here tonight. Like I say, Martinsburg getting some offense out of the bottom of that lineup they much needed. Get these guys some experience, get them plenty of at-bats, trying to get them ready as the season moves through and ends up, towards the end of the year, have these guys ready to be able to compete at the highest level.
Alicio steps off. Keep the runners in check. There's 1-0 count. Pitch from Alicio, another one behind. And it comes off of the glove of Cosner. The runners advance. So now if Deeds is able to get himself a base hit, you could see this go right back to where we were before the 6th inning. Martinsburg with a 3-run lead. 2-0 count now. The infield will come in and give a talk to Alicio, who has now thrown a couple pitches behind batters with that sidearm throwing motion that he has.
It definitely gives it a different look, and not where he wanted to be with 2 outs, Hedgeville thought they were off the field. Isaac Gilbert thought he had gotten the strike 3 on Silas Zarnecki. And then Lucio comes in, gives up the walk to Armolt there. Now you got a ball that gets by the catcher. Now Martinsburg sitting here looking at an opportunity to go up, get that run back, if not 2.
2-0. This one comes in low as well.
Hedgeville putting up a fight. They've loaded the bases with nobody out. Now the score is 11-1. Men on first and second, 1 out. They're down to their last 2 outs. They get a run across to extend that game.
3-0. Across the plate for strike 1. R.J. Brown, number 9 hitter on deck, has yet to get a hit today. And again, neither is Deeds. Strikeout swinging, sacrifice bunt, and that fielder's choice RBI. And there's another one. Runs in and hits him.
Deeds didn't even move. He just took it right on the buttocks.
Hit by pitch, loads the bases with 2 outs.
Yeah, 1-run game here. Coach Hartman's going to go out and talk to him. He's trying to get that last out. He had brought in a Lucio to try to shut this thing down, and he'd walked a batter and hit a batter, and they want to keep this at a 1-run game here. R.J. Brown, the 9 hitter, was at the top of the lineup, sitting, waiting, and salivating to get an opportunity. Gilbert's night ended on the mound, 2 innings and 2 2/3 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. He left the game at 49 pitches. Lucio is going to come off, and they're going to bring in. Are they going to re-enter McClintock?
That's what it looks like, yeah. Wyatt McClintock.
McClintock
coming back in. So we'll take a 30-second break for the pitching change. Come back with more EPAC baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Another small insurance call to the bullpen.
This was a recall.
Yeah, I guess it is. A recall to the bullpen, if you want to call it that, because it's Wyatt McClintock who started things out for Musselman. He's thrown 97 pitches, so he's got 13 to work with.
Well, one game changer has him at 99, which is Martinsburg's.
Okay.
And Musselman's has him at. Let's hold it. Give me a second. He has him at 97. So
interesting.
The two-pitch home team has him at 97. Visitors have him at 99. So somewhere between 11 and 13 pitches.
First pitch to R.J. Brown, high and inside for a ball. So number 9 hitter for Martinsburg. Up with the bases loaded and 1 out, or 2 outs with a 1-run lead. And he'll take ball 2 as well. So Isaac Gilbert looked like he was kind of on a roll after a rough 5th inning, his first inning of work, when he came in relief for McClintock. Here is the 2-0, and that comes across for strike 1. Then in the 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down went Martinsburg with 2 strikeouts to end the inning. Gilbert gets 2 quick outs to start the 7th. Here's the 2-1 popped up. Gilbert gave up 1 walk before he was taken out. And here comes McClintock getting this fly out to center field to Gantz to end the inning, keep Martinsburg's lead at just 1 run. So bases loaded. Martinsburg can't get them in. They've left a lot of runners on base. But all that being said, they go into the bottom of the 7th with a 1-run lead. And after the 60-second break, we'll see if Musselman can stay alive, send us to extras, or if they can get the win here at home in the bottom of the 7th. EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Moving to the bottom of the 7th, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Musselman, 3 outs to go, 1 run to get to extend this game. 2 to win it in the bottom of the 7th as Christian Alter's first pitch is up near the eyes. Brushes back. The leadoff hitter of the inning for Musselman, Chase Cosner. And he'll swing and miss at the 1-0. It's 8-9-1 in the lineup for Musselman in this do-or-die 7th. Cosner calls time. Christian Alter came in, got the last out of the 6th. Now he'll work here. 1-1 is fouled off to the first base side.
Alter out there with the, looks like he's got that face fully covered out there with that mask on and that neck hoodie, and looks pretty daunting.
Yeah.
Looks pretty daunting.
1-2. Bounces low and away. Try to get him to chase the curve. 2-2. It's Cosner, Kisner, Gantz. 3-2 up.
Cosner, Kisner, Gantz. Sounds like a run for Musselman. Should get a guy on.
2-2 from Alter. Hit on the ground. Rolls against the ground. Right to Grant Henderson at second base, and he will throw it to first for the first out. That brings up Seth Kisner, 0 for 2 so far, grounded into a double play and struck out swinging. Or actually, no, they're going to pinch hit.
Number 5 here.
Pinch hitter in for the Applemen is Austin Zacharias. He comes up off the bench for Kisner.
A little pinch hitter here.
Alter delivers. Oh, the first pitch almost runs in and hits Zacharias.
Thought I got him in the back there for a minute, but looks like he got out of the way there.
Here's the 1-0. And it'll be just outside the zone, ball 2. One batter Alter faced in the 6th inning. He was able to get Hinchman to ground out right back to him. And the 2-1, 2-0 comes across to make it 2-1. Cosner, just his second at bat. They're checking in. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Zacharias coming off the bench on a cold night. Got a big task ahead of him. He's trying to hit Christian Alter. He had a bunch, a pile of saves last year, or at least not, maybe not save situations, but definitely come in and closed out some games for Martinsburg.
2-2. This is going to be lined right up the middle. Zacharias, the tying run, gets on first.
Yeah, big bat there for Zacharias coming off the bench like that is giving Musselman an opportunity here to get back to the top of the order with Ryder, Gans, Gilbert, and McClintock sitting over there just open to get a shot at this thing.
Top of the order for Martinsburg with the tying run, or top of the order for Musselman. Tying run on first. First pitch from Alter. Foul tipped away. Gantz got himself a leadoff single in the first inning and has grounded out twice in his 2 at-bats since in the 3rd and the 5th. Here he comes up for the 4th time. And he will swing and miss at this breaking ball as it falls off. Breaks away from him.
Yeah, he got fooled on that one for sure. He's looking for something else. What he got there.
0-2 count. Alter readies and fires. Check swing. Alter wants a check. Field umpire's out behind him in between first and second base. Yeah, he says he didn't go.
Great job there by Braden Fox, keeping that ball in front of him, not allowing that runner to move up and get in the scoring position, as he needs to be a wall back there at the moment. Musselman looking for any opportunity. Is the runner's going to go?
He's going to go. Fox throw down, not going to be in time. Zacharias steals second base.
Yeah, gutsy play there by Musselman. You get thrown out there. You're like, what did he do that for? Now, again, like I said earlier, you call the play, execute it. You're a genius. If it goes wrong, then you're an idiot. So 50-50 shot there a lot of times for coaches, and great job there by Coach Hartman getting his guys an opportunity.
2-2, grounder over to shortstop. Jameer Brown Going to make the throw over to first in time. Gantz thought he was safe. I think that's the right call, though.
Gantz is fast. I mean, Jameer just laid back just a little bit, but he does throw the ball across the diamond hard, and he's able to get him by half a step there. So Loper stretching out there to make that play. Martinsburg now and out away. Musselman is a base hit away from tying it. So Gilbert here has been a big contributor here tonight on the mound, and wheeled himself around the bases earlier in the game there to give Musselman a spark.
First pitch to Gilbert, fouled away. Musselman down to their last out. Tying run at second base. It's the right guy to have up. Singled in his last at-bat, did Isaac Gilbert. Moved Gantz over to second base with a sac bunt in the first inning and struck out swinging in the third. And here's a grounder over to second base, though. Grant Henderson throws on, makes the play, and Martinsburg gets the win here at Musselman. Comeback victory after trailing 1-0 after one and not getting their first run up on the board until the fourth. But they make the comeback, and they hold off Musselman's own attempt at coming back themselves. After 4 straight from Martinsburg, the Applemen come up just short, leaving the tying run at second base. So Martinsburg pulls it out there, Trip.
Yeah, Martinsburg's been showing some grit here. Last 2 games here in the EPAC. I mean, the young group of players are getting some contribution from Ormote last night. R.J. Brown. I mean, what can you ask? Caleb Deeds has some quality at bat, gets the ball in play, moves, gets an ground out RBI. That's all you can ask out of some of these guys. Don't have a tremendous amount of, varsity time up against some really good pitching. A great game last night, and you come from behind victory twice now. Martinsburg showing that they don't give up when they're down a run or two, and just Grant Henderson coming in and taking over was just unbelievable what he did there in the middle. And especially after he give himself the lead with the double, his double breaks the tie. And then from there, they just, rolled until Musselman showed some life there in the 6th.
All right, with that, we will take a 2-minute break, come back for the post-game show. This is EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds?
I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Welcome into the Palace Lounge postgame show. Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu. with daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Trip, 4-3 win for Martinsburg. Here it was touch and go, back and forth, but they get it done in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they were, 1-0 ball game. Things were kind of dragging along there. McClintock kept kept forcing Martinsburg to strand some runners, get into the top of the fourth there, and Martinsburg sitting there getting down 1-0. Top of the fourth, they got a man on third, and nobody out, and 2 or 3 pitches later, they got nobody on base and 2 outs, and suddenly from that time there, they ended up scoring a couple runs. At that point, the momentum shifted. So, once the runner got cut down at third, left the bases empty, the next pitch or two, there was a strikeout. Martinsburg sitting there in the 4th inning, down 1-0, feeling like that maybe they, weren't going to be able to get anything, done tonight. And from there, they were able to string together, a single from Alter and a double from Henderson, and they were able to, take the lead. And from that point forward, looks like Henderson put him on his back there for a few innings up until they finally got after him when he got up in his pitch count and scored a few runs there on Martinsburg. But, just a great game. I mean, we see it every night in the EPAC, how close they are. And, everybody's talking about who's the best and who's the team to beat. But, I mean, no one's jumped out to a clear-cut, win. Washington gets beat last night by Martinsburg. Jefferson gets beat by Hedgesville. Then Washington turns around and beats Hedgesville. So then Martinsburg beats Musselman. It's just been it's going to be that kind of year. They're going to beat each other up. And we heard Coach Lowry talk about it early in the season, how he said that he thought that that the EPAC teams, they'll get their wins and losses against each other, and iron sharpens iron there. So definitely how I've seen it play out so far, and no one has actually jumped out to say, hey, we're the clear-cut leader in this EPAC, and everybody's chasing that number 1 seed. But ultimately it's going to come down to a 6-man tournament to see who goes to state, and we're going to have a great representative of EPAC from here going there.
Yep, for Musselman, they took the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Then Martinsburg came back and got 2 runs each in the 4th and the 5th. Musselman comes back and cuts into the lead with 2 in the bottom of the 6th. But they just can't get that tying run across to keep the game going. So that's your game scoring summary, brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com, and we have Coach Byler and player of the game walk into the booth here. Let's see, I can go ahead and Trip. If you got the questions for our
okay, sure.
Players here. Okay, we got the 2 headsets set up. I can go ahead and hand this off.
Well, Grant, early in the game, but didn't feel like you was battling, but didn't have your best stuff. But then come out there, you give yourself the lead at the plate, and from there you seem like the switch kind of turned, and you went out there and took control.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I didn't have my best stuff at the beginning. I kind of struggled finding the zone a little bit, and then I guess that momentum change in the, 3rd inning 4th inning was big on me. I mean, I got out there, I worked quick, it was great.
Yeah, you could see the change in there. Earlier in the game, wind was blowing. It just felt like it was tough getting outs, tough getting the strikes. Felt like you just didn't have it. You was fighting through. How does it feel like you've been out there and pitched when you felt good and you had your stuff? And what is it like when you're battling through and you just feel like at the moment you just don't have your best stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough. You gotta have a tough mindset to definitely pitch with like that. I mean, whenever I saw that I was down, like it was 1-0. I never really pitched behind in games, but yeah, it was tough. So I tried to just make sure to fight through it. I talked to Czar. We worked on a few things mid-game, and it kind of worked out at the end.
So how about the big double there? 1-1 ball game, tight ball game. You got your offense had been kind of slack there. McClintock had been able to keep you guys at bay, keep you off the scoreboard, and you finally break through. What was you thinking there at that time, at that at bat?
Yeah, I mean, Chris came up before me and had a big double. I think got that first run across, and he was on second. And my job really was just to replace him. And I was sitting fastball. I threw one down the middle. I liked it, and I just got on it.
was a great win tonight, but also to coming off, we didn't do the game last night, but another, you got back-to-back EPAC wins last night. Big game at Washington. Take us through some of the emotions of that game.
I mean, yeah, last night was great. The guys played great together. We definitely had a lot of emotion, a lot of energy last night. And I think that really helped us win last night.
So you're 7 games in. How do you feel like the team's progressed in 7 games?
I think we definitely came a long way. I mean, our thing is just to get better every day, and I think we've been doing that every single day. I think we're trying to come out here, compete, and just be the team that everyone doesn't think we are.
Well, congratulations on a big win tonight.
Thank you.
Hands are cold.
I know.
And their hands are cold. Must be cold outside. I wouldn't know up here.
We can trade off here, Trip, if you want. I'll take the questions here for Coach Byler. Won't make you do all the work.
That's good. I didn't want to talk to Trip anyway.
Coach Byler, you guys get it done. Offense took a while to get things going. You give up that 1 run in the bottom of the first, and then you guys finally get back on top in the 4th inning. When you're going through those struggles in those first few innings, what are you kind of saying to your guys? As you're getting those runners over to third base and getting even multiple guys in the scoring position and leaving them out there. Just what are you saying to those guys in those situations?
Well, we just keep telling them, play the next pitch and keep grinding out things. And, I probably got a little greedy there with the squeeze on RJ. If I just kind of let that inning play out, we probably score on a wild pitch anyway. So I may have pressed a little bit more than they did there, trying to scratch and run across. But, all in all, they did a great job grinding. And, nothing's going to be easy, and it wasn't easy tonight.
And you guys were finally able to open things up in that 4th and 5th inning. You get the RBIs from Alter and Henderson in the 4th inning. Then you get Armalt and D to be able to bring those guys across, kind of manufacture those insurance runs in the 5th. Did you notice any sort of difference in those innings as into that 2nd into 3rd time through the lineup?
Well, I think we just got ourselves in hitters' counts, and they were hunting fastball, and I think their starting pitcher, lacked a little bit of control on his curveball, and we told him, once you get ahead in the count, we got to sit fastball and get your foot down, drive the baseball. I thought we did a good job of that. I think I heard your announcer say that we left 11 guys on base, so we probably could have broken it open a little bit, but just proud of them for their effort and grinding it out.
And of course, your pitcher, Grant Henderson, a couple innings there where he kind of had to try to get himself into a groove on the cold night, and eventually he settled in, and those middle innings he really was dealing. So
yeah, I'll take the blame for that. As we stress so much on our pitchers that we got to hold runners because we got a sophomore catcher, and I just felt for the first couple innings he was so concerned about the guy on first base stealing second. There was no rhythm to the game. His looks were long, and he was batters were calling time, pausing out, and there was no flow. And if you know anything about pitching, it's get the ball, get on the mound, throw the next pitch, and get a flow. And I told him, I said, hey, if they steal second, they steal second. But we got to throw first pitch strikes. We got to get in the zone, get the ball, get on the mound, and throw it. And when Grant does that, he's very good.
And you let Grant go the entire way, 110 pitches, and then you bring in Christian Alter for the save, basically. So just how you felt about Christian's performance out there, and to trust him to get that job done.
Yeah, I don't like Grant going 110. I mean, it's early, but is it early? We're getting through it here real quick. So Grant's a guy that's been conditioned and felt all right with him doing that. And Christian's a guy that's pitched for us for years, it seems like now. So, we knew he was going to throw the ball across the plate, and we just had to field it. So, kudos to him coming in on a cold night and being able to get that job done.
Of course, you feel a lot better after this one. It's only one game, but you come out of this one 4-3 instead of 3-4, as you could have. It just feels a lot better, even if it's just one game difference there. So, where do you feel you guys are at this point?
Well, we still got a long way to go. We're not going to beat too many good baseball teams playing the way we did tonight with pass balls and free bases and walks and leaving 11 guys on base. But at the end of the day, if you would have told me we'd be 3-1 in EPAC play with one EPAC opponent that we haven't played yet, I'd take that every day of the week. So pretty happy with their effort and all that good stuff. And 4-3 is a heck of a lot better than 3-4, like you said. But what I'm most proud of is the 3-1 EPAC record so far, because those wins are tough to come by. So just proud of them for that.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
Hey, thank you guys for being here.
And Martinsburg gets the win 4-3. Our player of the game, Grant Henderson, that you just heard from with Tripp, was brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making U number 1 first. Parsons, Grant Henderson, 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 runs allowed, 2 walks. Christian Alter pitches the last inning in a third, gives up just 1 hit, and closes things out for Martinsburg. An RBI each for Henderson, Alter, Armalt, and Deeds. Game stats brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships. Proud to be the owners who just care more. Tripp, final word is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I just think when you look at this as a whole, I don't want to talk about the EPAC as a whole, the great game that Hedgeville and Jefferson played last night, the great game that Washington and Martinsburg played, the good games we've seen here at Musselman. They haven't quite done what Coach Hartman said they need to do and play a complete game, and they're getting there. They're grinding. I mean, they one run loss here against a good EPAC team. Martinsburg's climbing that hill. They're climbing that hill. They're starting to put together complete games. They're staying in there. They're getting gritty. Musselman still not quite putting together that complete game, like Coach Hartman said. Hedgeville's shown they can stand toe to toe with with Jefferson, as Jefferson kind of jumped out to an early favorite lead and then got kind of knocked off the top of the hill a little bit there, but still right there at the top of things. And one loss is just something that they'll deal with, of course, down there, and they'll regroup. No, very seldom is anybody going to go undefeated in EPAC play. Martinsburg at 3-1 in EPAC play with a young team, only a couple of returns from last year, is a big statement for them to say that, hey, we're going to go out there and these games mean a lot to us, and we're going to put a lot of effort into it. And so, just fun to watch these guys spring mills down there with some signature wins. And I just like watching these EPAC matchups, and I think it's going to be a really fun season to watch how this thing plays out, see which teams can deal with the adversity and overcome it, see which teams succumb to it, and and fall off to the wayside. And just fun to watch the EPAC baseball. I love watching it every spring and look forward to it.
Absolutely. So for Nick Verzolini back at the studio, Alec Epperson and Kyler High producing and running the cameras here, Tripp Tobin next to me, I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long from Musselman, and hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday night. EPAC Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Tripp's Flooring, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Burke, Schultz, Herman, and Jenkinson Personal Injury Attorneys, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Larry DeMarco Team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, Hagerstown Ford, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations Robert Fields & Sons, The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Floor Pools, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Martinsburg and Winchester Dealerships, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, The Palace Lounge, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mirius Group Ameriprise Financial Services LLC, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talkradiowrnr.com. All rights reserved.